Roll Over DJ by Jet on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. All right, Karl?
Yeah.
Bit miserable today, Karl. Let me explain why.
Go on.
Steve, and to you, the listeners. Well, we came in to a big bunch of stuff. Dropped off, was it Becky from Marks and Spencer? Just like lovely stuff. Food, presents for the cat, books, just, you know, to Ricky and Steve who do the show, right? Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant.
GQ presenters of the year.
Creators of The Office, right?
Award winning.
Carl's looking over. I go, well, maybe, it's not for you, no. And then he told me why he's grumpy anyway.
Go on.
Do you know what XFM are giving everyone? How long have you been here?
About 6 years.
What are you getting for Christmas from XFM?
2 CDs.
Is that of your choice, or do they choose them?
There's a list of about 30.
Right.
Tell him what you chose.
30 CDs. I've gone for Kings of Leon album.
Yeah.
And the best of Bob Marley.
Haven't we given them away in the past or something? Or you could have burnt them off, couldn't you? You could have done copies. Illegal, but you could have done that anytime you wanted.
I don't think Bob Marley minds if you bootleg his CDs.
It's out of order though, isn't it?
It is bad.
Although
is that always the case? Has it always been the truth of all the time you've been here?
No, it has been better than this.
Yeah, although you do get paid quite well and you do have an easier time.
Yeah, but don't give me the CDs then. If it was a milkman, you don't go, I have 2 bottles of semi-skimmed. Happy Christmas.
Yeah. That is a valid point.
Do you know what I mean?
Have you complained? Who is it who made this decision?
There's no point. No point, is there?
Why?
Just no point. I don't like moaning anyway, just...
Has
it come from up top? Is it from the capital people?
Just everyone. That's what everyone gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but will Christian get 2 CDs for getting up at 4:30 every day for about 5 years?
And keeping this station afloat.
Probably.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a bit fed up.
What you listen to first, Marley or Leon?
Well, you have a bit of Marley.
I'll tell you what Marley's good for as well. You're going to have a little beach holiday, aren't you, over Christmas, going to Lanzarote? Listening to that on the beach, you'll realise how wise XFM are in the long run. You go, well, look, they could have given me 400 quid, right? Well, I'd have spent that. But this is, the legend lives on.
That keeps on giving.
So you're probably, you know what I mean? Think how much what you got to think of is how much all his great songs took, not only from the depth of his soul and, all his sort of angst and knowledge and love, and then all the studio time, the marketing, and they're just giving you one. They go, don't worry about that, Karl, just have it. And you go, what? All the time we spent with Bob Marley and everything. You go, have it, Karl, have it, Karl. And
Practice.
Have that. Thanks, well done. Carry on. We're still going to pay you for the work.
Yeah.
That's just something on top.
Here's a little piece of Bob, free.
Yeah, so don't moan, it's extra. So, they didn't have to give you it at all. Play a record, you ungrateful little swine.
Some people, like the homeless, aren't getting anything this Christmas.
This is my favourite Elvis Costello track of all time. It's Alison.
This wasn't on the list. Right.
Elvis Costello, Alison on XFM 104.9. So, that's it. Well, maybe, I'll tell you what, a good idea, Karl, just beg. Just ask for other things. What do you want? What do you want for Christmas? You must have a big fan base out there willing to make you things. Maybe like a little, I don't know, gloves, pair of gloves.
Just like a little woolly hat.
If you want to send a necklace in for Suzanne, that'd be handy.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she wants.
Is Suzanne listening today?
No, she's out.
Right, okay, this is the dilemma. Me and Steve, yesterday, were trying to convince Karl that it would be a good idea to buy Suzanne a Christmas present. Okay? Now, why aren't you going to buy her a Christmas present? Explain, Karl, why you don't think you should buy her a Christmas present.
No, I've told her I'll get her one, but in the new year. We're going away on holiday and that, so there's no point taking stuff away.
Yeah.
Going to Lanzarote next week.
Just get something in the sales after Christmas for this,
Yeah.
Right. And me and Steve were trying to explain to Karl that she would love it if you bought her something on Christmas Day.
Yeah, but she knows now.
But
knows what?
I've told her. So
no, well, I'm going to tell you. Do you know, right, this, dear listener, this was Karl's worry. I said, I bet she's got you something. And Karl was worried in case he got her something and she hadn't got him something.
Yeah, he'd be livid.
He didn't want to be down. He didn't want to be a present down.
Yeah.
Look at his face. So buy her a nice necklace. Don't spend, just spend £100, you know, just a little token.
We're going away. We're going taking her away on holiday.
You're not taking her away, are you? What, you're paying for it, are you?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Well, half and half and that.
Right.
So you're paying for you to go on holiday? That's good of you. So the gift is your company, really?
She's done all right.
She's done all right.
Why do you talk like you're 60 years old? And you've been working down the mines?
I don't know, she's done all right. Do you go over to her and say, Suzanne, you're bloody lucky?
I mean...
You've fallen on your feet. Look who you've got. What?
I'm not sure she has done all right. I don't want to be critical, but...
Oh, dear.
So what are you going to get in the sales?
What are you going to get her?
Yeah, it depends. I'm thinking... I mean, I'll give her the choice. She can have Kingsley and or Bob Marley. Right, I'll let her decide there.
Oh, dear. I can't wait to see you. Where are you going, Lanzarote?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Don't know. Suzanne sorted it out.
I said, Lanzarote. I said, is that Africa or is it Spain or Portugal? Just thought you don't know. I went, what do you mean don't know? I goes, well, what's the currency? He went, don't know. I said, Suzanne booked this one, did she?
Yeah.
I thought, where is it? Is Lanzarote African or
Foreign. Somewhere foreign.
I was looking last night, and doesn't look that good. There was like one of the highlights of the things it says you've got to do is go and have. Apparently, they've got restaurants in caves, and that's like one of the things they say you must do. So, if that's a highlight, do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'll do that. Go and see what that's like.
Yeah.
When you're on the beach, Karl, do you wear the very, very tight Speedos?
No.
Do you walk
What's
around
you
with
wear?
them?
Sort of longish shorts,
Yeah.
t-shirt on, probably with a sort of a light shirt on top of that.
Right, sure.
So quite wrapped up then.
Covered up. Do you wear a hat? Because obviously the bald head, there's risk of sunburn.
No, I just put a bit of lotion on it.
Lotion on there.
Yeah.
Just have a bit of a wander down the beach, have a look.
Yeah.
See if there's any old blokes with their tackle out and a backpack.
A lot to look forward to. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to finding out how you get on.
Yeah, I'll let you
And
know.
Interested to know what she gives you on Christmas Day.
Won't be getting
More
anything.
scintillating chat after this next song.
All right, bit of placebo.
Yeah, love it.
Special needs.
Placebo, special needs on XFM 104.9. Email in where Lanzarote is. I don't know if it's Italy or Spain or Europe or maybe Africa. You know, these are the sort of things, these are the reasons I come into it, to at least learn something, innit, Karl? We've stopped educating Ricky, so I've stopped learning, you know, about things like the woman who ate mud all her life.
I told you something before when we were in the office.
What did you go on? What was that? What did you teach me?
They've just counted how many fish are in the sea and that.
No, they haven't.
They've just done a census. or
A
whatever.
census.
What, a fish?
Yeah, some fellas have gone in the sea and they've got to work out. There's about...
Mrs. Spratt, is this your son? No, he's a lodger. Okay, well, let's mark him down. That's 2. Oh, I've lost count. 6 million, 4... Oh, darn. So how many are there?
About... There's a lot. There's...
Oh. Well, there are more species of fish than bird, mammal and reptile put together.
Can I ask a question?
That's on my DVD of animals.
That's still available in the shops. Stuff like that. Probably find it online. You'll get that slightly cheaper.
$15.99. What? Go on, ask me a
Special
question.
features
Ask me a
which
question.
include
Ask me a question.
Karl's Pilkington's also on the DVD.
Yeah.
That's a perfect Christmas gift.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, this is a question. I was discussing this yesterday. This is not a bit of shit. This is not a joke. I genuinely have always been slightly perplexed, and we were discussing it last night. The notion of the birds and the bees.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean, you know, the birds and the bees. I understand now. You know.
Why they use the birds and the bees?
Yeah, because, well, you see, I always, as a child, I never know. I assumed the bees were having some kind of relations with the birds.
No.
So what is there anything to do with the birds and the bees, or is it literally, you know, just like a euphemism? It's just the birds and the bees.
No, but they
Do the birds do anything with the bees?
No, not at all. It was
Do
where
they just
parents
take them out? They
it was where
smooth them?
parents used to sidestep the issue by saying things like, you know, when a lady blackbird and a man blackbird, they meet, right? They make a little nest, and then because they're in love, they have an egg,
Yeah.
and that was it.
I understand that. That makes sense. But why the bees? Why the birds and the bees?
Well, probably, I don't know.
I don't know. You see, within nature, forgive my ignorance, within nature there is no relationship between bees and birds, is there?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Nothing's going on.
But probably what it was, if the parent found it hard to say, daddy puts his penis at mummy's vagina, it was much easier to say, like in the insect world, billions of them queue up and just fill the queen with spunk for about a day.
Sure.
Thus avoiding the embarrassing intercourse.
Exactly.
That's what I think, Karl. What do you think?
Were you taught about the birds and the bees? Did anyone bring that up with you?
No, it was just in that class, wasn't it? When they put a video on.
That's what we had. No, we had a film.
And they just said, I watched that. And then...
what film, though? Basic Instinct?
It was just like, two people. And all sat around the telly and watched it. One girl fainted. And they said, right, that's that. Next week, prisms or whatever.
And did it teach you everything you needed to know?
Well, how much do you need to know?
Yeah, true. No, true. Except one kid in my class still thought a baby came out of an arse. Afterwards, he didn't understand.
I think what they should have shown on those videos is technique as much as anything.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because it was largely just instructional.
Wooing. Wooing.
What it didn't tell you was how to get into a position where this might be of some interest. That should have been the first 4 weeks of the course.
Yeah, well, obviously that baby who had the kid who had a baby. What was going on there, Karl?
That was weird. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was going to be your favourite programme, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't that good in the end.
Why?
You told us about this story ages ago, didn't you?
Ages ago. I told you about a year ago about a baby that had a baby.
Yeah, a bit different. The baby that had a baby, isn't it? Whereas a Siamese twin with a breech actually just developed inside him for it wasn't even developing. It was a twin stillborn that just was inside enveloped in the other one's body. So it's a little bit different to a baby. What had a baby, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually disappointed he was. Do you know what he said to me? He went, well, I thought it was going to come out. And go, oh, bloody hell, I'm 7. What a waste of my life. Like he'd been in there going, oh, hello? Hello? I'm 7. Idiot.
Yeah, a bit disappointing. But there was a programme on after that, right? At 10 o'clock on Discovery, and I haven't got Discovery.
Oh,
it was about... Good? Oh, I didn't see it. This is it. I was going to say to people, if they've got a copy of it on tape, if they can send it in.
What was it?
About a baby with 4 legs.
Right.
That was on at 10 on...
It wasn't a puppy?
No.
Right.
Just,
what's it doing up there?
Yeah.
It's my baby. Oh, is it Mum? All right then, fine. Yeah. Oh, it's got 4 legs, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do have
Look,
4 legs.
Dad's gone, he's never coming back, you've got to get over it.
So, if anyone's got
not a baby.
Send it in.
Oh,
right,
dear.
okay,
Send it in. So you want a tape with a baby with 4 legs. You're going to be disappointed again. It's not going to be like a baby with 4 legs who's running up the curtains. You know what I mean? It's not going to be that. It's probably going to be 2 legs and then 2 sort of like floppy appendages. You know what I mean? They're not going to be brilliant. It's not going to be like Jake the Peg. You're going to be disappointed.
Apparently Lanzarote is one of the Canary Islands.
Oh, is it?
Although we've also been told it's part of Spain.
Right.
I don't know who to believe.
I don't know who to believe either. That puts me back because I knew it was either one of them.
Yeah.
I just it.
What about it? Pilot knows, doesn't he? Pilot knows where he's going.
I thought so, yeah.
Doesn't matter then. Right, we're playing Jayhawks.
Let's play it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Got bored with that conversation, did you?
Jayhawks, save it for a rainy day. We had a lot of emails, Rick, saying, is Karl the fat bloke from The Office?
Oh, Keith? No, not at all. No. Karl has no discerning talent whatsoever. Karl presses the buttons.
Yeah, that guy's a funny sort of comedian.
Yeah.
Oh, incidentally, we've also had an email that says, sack Karl. Your thoughts?
It's not worth it. What difference does it make? Do you know what I mean? So Alive, Ryan Adams on XFM. We're here by ourselves. Where's Karl, Steve?
Well, if we can get through this link, Rick, there's no need for him whatsoever, because I'm manning the desk, you're over there providing the shtick and the comedy, the laughs, the entertainment.
Karl is making us a cup of tea, but he was too late for that even. You know, he's providing very little for the show. I think he's threatened to bring Rockbusters back for one last time.
Looking forward to that enormously.
Yeah. Now, I like Ryan Adams, but I prefer his sort of like melancholy, sort of modern alt country sort of vibe than that one.
Yeah.
Which brings me nicely to this.
Okay.
I got sent a CD in the week.
Yeah.
All right, just play this.
You want me to play it?
Yeah. Isn't that great?
It's brilliant.
I love that. It makes it sound like a real song. And he just phoned to ask permission. Of course, I said yes, put it on his website. I don't know what he's doing. His name's Ben O'Sullivan, and I think it's part of a live gig. By the time he's just stuck that on a CD for me. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah. He's got a great voice as well.
It's brilliant.
Just a little bit more.
I think we should explain for people who probably don't know why we're playing this. It's actually a David Brent song from The Officer, and he's covered it.
That's
he's covered it.
Part of Series 1, of course, and both Series 1 and Series 2 are still available on DVD. Perfect.
We don't
Christmas
need
gift.
Carl.
You don't, you're absolutely right.
Can't you just play a record without going wrong now?
Let's see, we've played that, we're talking. Why don't you introduce the Long and Winding Road? This is the version from that remix Let It Be album where they've taken all the strings off of the Phil Spector version.
I'll see if I can. This is Long and Winding Road by the Beatles, but this is the one where they've taken all the strings and stuff, that Spillvector version. Spillvector. So close.
So close.
Long and Winding Road. I love that, but I don't like the way McCartney sings here. There's just one, he goes, you leave me waiting here.
Well, he's always got that slightly affected.
But it sounds
style,
like Richard Burton or something, here.
Yeah.
But it's only one that does it, but I don't know why. I just think he likes it or wants to go back and change it. Maybe it's like... But having said that, you know, I'm not taking away from the Beatles, one of the best bands ever.
Well, yeah, good luck to
Brilliant songwriters. Yeah.
We've had a lot of emails, Karl. I don't want to sort of put a dampener on your Christmas, but a lot of people have been slagging off Lanzarote. One of them just said, well, one of them, I don't know if I can find it.
It is Canaria, isn't it? It is one of the Canaries, isn't it?
It's a volcanic island covered in volcanic dust. It's very windy, so you have to dig a hole to sit in on the beach, and there's hardly anything to do. That's from Mike Godham, he says, unless you like quad biking, well, you know, you've seen what happened to...
no, don't go quad biking. Not with your little head. There's no protection at all, is there?
I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know.
At least Rick Mann and Ozzy had lots of hair. Yours would be like Humpty Dumpty. It would crack like a little egg. And then we'd seen, there's no kings or kings horses. So,
well, they couldn't do the job anyway.
No, shouldn't really send them. They're not really qualified.
Horses not equipped to put back
a medical man like Neil Fox in.
Yes.
To mend
but not
eggs.
Some kind of military horse.
I bet he's had egg on his face a few times, hasn't he?
What, Foxy?
Yeah.
Well, most of the series are Pop Idol.
Right, Karl. Lanzarote, good or bad?
Well, you got to give it a go, haven't you?
Yeah, well done.
Give everywhere a go.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. You know, don't just take the word for it. I mean, if it had said an Ananova, Lanzarote shit, he'd have believed it.
Sure.
You know, if he'd have overheard it in a pub, Lanzarote a crap, he'd have believed it. He'd have seen it on a website that was mainly concerned with monkeys and witches, he'd have believed it.
Yeah.
As it is.
Everybody raves about New York, and when I went there, I thought it was rubbish.
Well, you're an idiot then, because that is possibly the greatest city in the world, along with London.
Subjective, though. That's why they have holiday programmes and that, innit? So you see it and you decide for yourself and that.
Yeah, but you saw Venice on a holiday programme, as you put it. You went there and you went, it was rubbish, full of black bin liners.
Well, it is.
Right. Didn't they show them?
It stunk.
Didn't Judith Chalmers say that? Oh, it stinks here and there's loads of rubbish everywhere.
No, she didn't.
Did she mention that?
Oh, that's what I mean. So it depends what you want from holiday, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. But you're an idiot if you don't like New York, so next.
Anyway, come on, break up, guys. Kiss and make up.
Yeah.
Karl, we've had an email, some old Rockbusters. Someone's emailed in, they wonder if you can get some of your old Rockbusters clues, your old genuine Rockbusters clues. I know Rockbusters has come back
Well, of course he can. It's the way his brain works.
Well, indeed. But I think you'll... maybe you can also enjoy the challenge, Rick.
Yeah.
And you at home.
I remember them as well, because I remember how angry they made me.
Here's some old Rockbusters. That army's got some nice trenches. DW.
That army's got some nice trenches.
DW.
No.
Dandy Warhols.
That one works.
It's not bad, is it?
That's why I didn't get that one, because it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She's only got one sticker left.
It was actually he's only got one sticker left.
Oh, okay. He's only got one sticker left.
The band His Last Sticker.
Exactly.
With Justine Fishman, His Last Sticker. They were brilliant, weren't they? What happened to His Last Sticker? Are they still going?
He'll strap some chocolate to your feet. That's A. A band or artist. A. He'll strap some chocolate to your feet.
Go on.
Aerosmith. I don't know really what that means, but And finally, you'll have to...
Aero cobbler.
yeah.
The well-known aero cobbler.
And you'll have to stick her in the oven, AB. You'll have to stick her in the oven.
See, he thinks blacksmith means, like, just shoes. Like, it's not the smith. It's the smith part. A smith is just a right, isn't it? So it doesn't... I don't know... Aerosmith. What does that mean, Karl? What does that mean?
Come on, you'll have to stick her in the oven, AB.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
But it doesn't work.
Apparently it does. You'll have to stick her in the oven, AB. Single or artist?
What, Anita Baker?
Anita Baker.
Why you have to stick her in the oven?
I need to bake her.
Oh, I need to. But why didn't you say, like, you'll have to get his hair cut and put a nice white chef's hat on? That's Anita Baker.
See, that works.
That works, Karl. I need to bake her. Doesn't work. It is shite.
Okay, well, listen. Before you judge, listen to today's Rockbusters.
Okay.
They're here with us now. Here's Karl Pilkington.
Brought
He's
it
got
back
them.
just for Christmas.
Brilliant.
I've only got 2 really because
what?
I was trying to work one out before, right, in my little room.
Yeah.
I was looking at different band names, thinking, what can I do?
Yeah.
Couldn't concentrate because Ricky was in there trying to spray deodorant all over the place. Right?
Well, you should have done them yesterday.
You should have shut me out.
Right.
So there's just 2. Brilliant.
Well,
Okay.
I've kind of got an idea for the third one.
fine,
I'll
all
have a go.
Yeah.
Right, so anyway, the first one...
Should we play a record and come back to this? 'Cause
We'll
it's
do
been
it quickly, we'll do it quickly.
No, play a record. It's
record then.
rubbish.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
Libertines.
Useless.
Give me the gifts. Let me have a look what prizes you've got.
Libertines, Don't Look Back Into the Sun on XFM. Well, the general public are getting involved with Karl's holiday, and, I mean, this has been a damning report on Lanzarote.
There's not been a positive word written about Lanzarote so far.
Wow. It's volcanic, there's no natural water supply.
Apparently there's no natural water supply. It's
You have
all
to sit in a
imported.
hole. What do you think of this, Karl? What do you think of the people that want you to know that you're going to a rubbish place when you can't change it? What do you think of that?
Rubbish though, will it?
What do you mean?
Be all right.
What do you mean it'll be right?
Because I'm going to go there thinking, oh, there's no water and that, and there will be water.
No, they didn't say there's no water.
What did they say then?
There's no natural water supply.
Whatever. I'm not bothered. Doesn't bother me.
All right.
I'm going to have a good time and that.
What are you going to do? What do you plan to do?
Got a book.
What book you got?
Rich Hall book. I'm just going to read that. So,
Brilliant.
and the weather's better than here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So... gonna have a good time.
Someone emailed just now. They said they're listening online and there's a problem with their computer and everything's sped up. The music's sped up. Our voices, Rick, are sped up, except Karl's. That's how slow he speaks. So when everything's sped up, he sounds normal.
Right, we're doing Rockbusters.
Yeah, come on. Listening
Steve, do you
online.
want to do the clues?
I won't do the clues, I'll never be able to piece them together, but I'll give you the prizes. The Old Grey Whistle Test, Volume 2, Kumar's at number 42, Volume 2, or maybe that's Volume 1, who cares? Porridge, Series 3, Volume 2, The Office, complete second series on VHS, for anybody who's still got grandparents. And U2, a best of 99 to 2000. And Smash Hits, the reunion, that'll be the kind
Karl.
of stuff you'll love. Spice Girls is on there, Liberty X, Atomic Kitten.
Do you see that? Do you see Steve's enthusiastic? Even though the competition's rubbish, the prizes are second rate, Steve is going, well, I'm not going to punish London, right? I'm going to big it up. You're there. Oh, fine. Do you know what I mean? Come on.
Right, here's
Clue
the
one,
first
come
clue.
on,
Clue one.
Come on. Come on!
Shut up.
Come on!
Can't do any photos because it's been nicked by a German.
Right, start again.
Oh,
Start again.
what?
Clue 1. Rockbusters, Clue 1.
Okay, this is Rockbusters with Karl Pilkington. Go!
I can't do any photos because it's been nicked by a German.
And what's the initial?
AC. Right?
Next.
Second clue. If you keep eating, this bit of your body will get bigger. PC. PC. It's an artist or a band. Who is it? PC. If you keep eating, this part of your body will get bigger, right?
Yeah.
And the last one I'm not really sure about. If you...
He's actually winging it now. Imagine if this was Mastermind. I'm not sure about it. I know your specialist subject
Come
is...
on! Okay, go!
The place where you go to take your dog a walk and that.
The place where you go to take your dog a walk.
Forget it then.
No, we'll do it! No, do it! Get you! Tim Burgess. Oh my Corazon, is that?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
I have no idea.
Phone in if you know.
No, don't bother.
Oh, email then, at least.
Okay.
I'd like to know these things.
Sure. We were doing Rockbusters just before the ads and the record. Rick, I know you were enjoying it.
Yeah, come on, get this clue out, Carl. There's 3. What is it?
Right, the first one was...
No, we don't got the first 2. What's
Can't
the
do
third?
any photos because it's been nicked by a German.
Yeah.
Second one, if you keep eating, this bit of your body will keep getting bigger.
Yeah, it's different every time. Go on, what's the third one?
And where you take your dogs for a walk and that, or you might go there on a Sunday.
What?
Sort of...
Oh, Jesus
Rick,
Christ.
please, Rick, just be quiet for just a moment.
Right, okay, do this clue. Right, start from now. This is the third Rockbuster clue.
That was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, God, we'll get done.
Oh.
Right, go on then, go.
Where you take your dog a walk, or you might go there on a Sunday and that. People sort of might taste that area. Right?
Oh.
It's rubbish.
AP.
Right, well, the other one's AP as well, eh?
AP.
What? I
AP.
see.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
AP.
A quick reminder of them again with the initials. Quick, go.
This is such
The
rubbish.
first one, can't do any photos because it's been nicked by a German. Second one, if you keep
What was the
eating...
initial?
AC. If you
Don't
keep,
get annoyed, that's what the game's about, the initials.
Yeah,
if you keep eating, this bit of your body will get bigger. That's PC,
right.
right? And where you take your dog maybe on a Sunday and you go for a walk there and that, have a taste of it.
Different.
AP, just email in and you win some stuff.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
What rubbish. I wonder why we stopped this game.
Well, I think it's probably exhausted him. He needs to go to some kind of volcanic dust island for a holiday.
With no water,
Yeah, exactly.
just to dry out and get some new ideas. Oh, I'd love to see you sitting there on these black ash sands, just sitting there going, I'm thirsty, Suzanne.
There's no natural water.
I've finished my Richard Old book. I can't focus. I'm going blind. I need some water. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, bless him.
Anyway, happy Christmas. We said we weren't getting out, didn't we? Right, go on then.
It was the premiere. Did you see the coverage? There was a premiere of Lord of the Rings Part 3.
I can't be bothered.
I mean, man alive, I'm sick of Lord
I
of the
watched
Rings.
the first one and I was actually I've never been into all that sort of stuff.
Never liked it.
Gollum and Dungeons and Dragons and
No.
gatekeepers and weird magic and Harry Potter I want to punch his face in.
I know what you mean.
But I mean, it's sort of like,
Well, Lord of the Rings, when I was at school, if you were into that sort of thing, you were a nerdlinger. They would beat you up, they'd shout
Exactly.
heckle abuse, all that sort of thing. You know, I wasn't a fan.
I actually don't know anyone who admitted they were into that
I know.
nonsense.
It was shameful. It was embarrassing. Now, the whole world's gone crazy for it. Even the tough guys, the hard nuts, the streetwise kids, they're loving it. Can't wait for the third one. I see people raving about it. It's Jonathan Ross, all these people going, it's the best thing I've ever seen. It's 3 hours and 10 minutes of trolls and goblins and magic spells and large feet and magic rings. I'm loving all that crap. What's wrong with
I
you
know.
people?
I will smite you with my sword.
It's just interminable. The orcs and the Norks.
I saw some people playing this game. They had a big manual and a dice, and they're in a pub, and they're all fat with beards, right? And he threw a dice, and he looked down, he went, and he said something like, outside them, the 3 miles to Mumra, and they went, oh, well done. I want to go and say, what is this game?
Yeah.
What?
It's absolutely extraordinary. Well, they showed some coverage of the Lord of the Rings premiere on TV, and there were people dressed up as some of the characters.
Yeah.
There was a girl chatting saying, well, I just think Gollum's hilarious. What? People talking about telling me Gollum's hilarious in this new film. How is he funny, my precious? Oh, my precious. What's funny about this? I'm losing it. I'm genuinely...
Is he like Yoda?
I don't know what the joke is. I'm missing it all. And when the walking trees started talking... Oh, man, I love it. It's like something-
Gollum's the little one that looks a bit like Gandhi.
yeah, exactly. The computer animated Gandhi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah. I think that's how he's described in the book. But this is the other thing. I say, then they go, Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien, he's a genius. You know he created his own language? Whoopee! Carl comes up with a new word every week that he's made up. He's not a genius.
Yeah, well, the bloke, a look of frighteningness came across his face. Frighteningness. Yeah, Carl's new word. Although, Shakespeare introduced 1,200 words to the English language, apparently.
Well, he was a genius.
He's estimated. And I only know one of them.
Yeah, what was it?
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
How did he come up with that?
I don't know.
I reckon maybe he was reading Macbeth and went, I'll tell you this is brilliant.
Yeah, and his wife said, what?
This is brilliant. I'll tell you this is absolutely brilliant.
I don't know what you mean.
Sort of.
Will.
Sort of better than good. Read it, see what you think.
Well, it's good, yeah, but I mean...
Read it again.
It's getting better each time.
Is it brilliant?
It is brilliant.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
I don't know how you... when the audience were there on that first night...
Brilliant. I know, it wasn't brilliant. It was excellent, he came up with.
Oh, fair enough, it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
But on the first night, when everyone was in the theatre, you know, the dregs, the Karls of the Middle Ages, they're still sat there. The Renaissance, I should say. They're all sat there watching it. They're enjoying the play. They're loving it. All the kind of people dressing up or whatever it might be. The boys playing the girls not involved, all the rest of it. They're loving it. I'm loving this. It's absolutely brilliant. He's going to kill her. Well, forsooth, it was excellent. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
You've lost me.
Excellent.
I'm shooting off.
Yeah, was it? What? It was what? Wow, you know, excellent.
I don't see how you can make up words. It's like, it doesn't seem that doesn't count in poetry.
Well, I suppose you have to, don't you, eventually, if you want to describe something.
Why? Just use the words that exist, isn't that the rule?
No, but we know that's why we borrow from other languages. There are certain phrases that can't be translated because it's that there are no words in other languages for them. I mean, I think we beat the second language by about double.
What language?
I think in English we have got about, I think Russian second, but I think we got twice as many words. So there are obviously things that we say that cannot really be translated.
Yeah.
And so, you know, ours is just great for obviously poetry and...
It makes sense when you think about things like blancmange.
Blancmange
That would
is
be like
good, yeah.
wobbly pudding.
I know.
In English.
But I think if there are, I don't know how many there are, someone know, but say there's about 100,000 possibilities, right? I think we probably know, as educated people like us, Steve, we probably have about 20,000.
Sure.
Right? I really don't think we need that other 80,000.
No.
I can't, I'm not walking around going, I don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
I'm really, what did he say? What is that? I mean, that happens possibly once or twice a year when I go, what? Sorry, what does that mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Carl, you look bored, mate. We had a real
I
conversation
think
there.
he switched off when I said forsooth.
Bruce Forsooth, you know him. So much better than last week. You know him, don't you, Carl?
Put a song on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boards. Okay, there was a monkey, right?
No, he's
Wait. It was a professor of English. No Blue Sky, The Thorns. That's beautiful, isn't it? On XFM 104.9. Carl, you're losing your rag a little bit. What's the matter?
Nothing, go on. See?
What's the matter? No, what's the matter with
I've
Carl?
got something to cheer him up. Someone's emailed in, Emma's emailed in, she said that for those that know, those in the know, they referred to Lanzarote as Lanzagrotte.
Brilliant.
He's a bit fed up. He's got 2 CDs for Christmas from a company that's he's been with for 6 years. He's a little bit grumpy about having to answer the phones. He wouldn't go and make Steve another cup of tea immediately.
Selfish.
Yeah. Carl, what are you thinking?
Nothing. Go on, what were you doing?
Come on, Carl, you're getting paid for this. Project. Out.
We'll take one of those CDs away.
All right.
What were we talking about? Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Sick of it, as I say. So there's some people dressed up on TV. They were dressed up as the characters. They had their sort of costumes. There was a guy I went to university with. I don't want to mention his name. Went into his room once. He's into that sort of thing. He showed me in his wardrobe. He had a full-size Star Trek outfit that his mum had made for him.
His mum had made for him.
But I wanted to say, well, A, you're taking it to university, but B, when are you going to wear that?
Yeah.
When are you ever in the mood to wear that?
Well, you know, you never know when. You know, like on Apollo 13, wasn't it, when someone had measles or something? Someone else got in.
Sure.
So you might go, I can't believe it. Can't believe it. The Enterprise, Uhuru can't make it.
But it's the idea of that being, you know, I'm not one to speak, but it's that idea of that sort of being attractive to women. Because that's presumably generally when you're at university, when you're 18, 19, that's the reason you wear those kind of clothes, is to try and make a bond with someone, isn't it? Try and establish some kind of connection.
Yeah.
Saw a guy walking down the street the other day, must have been 18, 19, wearing on his t-shirt, it just had a picture and the words Star Wars Phantom Menace.
He probably like.
But it's just the idea of a girl going, yeah, well, I'm in that film as well.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be kind of kooky and eclectic t-shirts, aren't they, normally? They're supposed to be a bit sort of radical and a bit offbeat.
My favourite, though, are, I love fat goths.
Yes.
I really love
Who
fat
are still
goths.
persevering with it, even into their 30s?
I like fat young ones. I love fat 18-year-old goths. I really like them. They're one of my favourites. And I like 42-year-old goths
Yeah.
who, they're losing all their hair. They're just growing at the back. But, you know, I don't know what jobs they do. But their main hobby is looking like Nosferatu and wearing lots of silverware. That's one of my favourites.
I think I mentioned to you before, I saw a girl on the tube. She had a bag, and she was quite gothy. She had a bag, and it sort of had like a Barbie's head red, kind of sort of defaced hanging from there, and loads of badges and tassels and little motifs and odd things, and she decorated the bag, and then had sort of things like, legalise cannabis and ban the bomb, and stop the war.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to grab her and say, you doing much about the war, or are you working mainly on the bag?
Yeah, you spent most of the year
you're filling in the petitions, are you doing the marches,
collecting
or is it largely
badges.
the bag you're focused on?
Oh dear.
I'll tell you another thing, that a fashion mistake that always offends me whenever I see it is an Englishman of any age wearing cowboy boots.
I had cowboy boots. I
can't believe it.
When I was 18, right, I went out and got a pair of cowboys. The cheapest. I mean, they were the only ones I could afford. Awful.
Why?
I mean,
was that 'cause
they were like clogs that came up to the knee. They were so uncomfortable.
And why did you get them? Who was wearing them at the time that you thought they were cool?
Clint Eastwood.
Right. Okay.
And I had cowboys. I put segs in them.
What segs?
Which the little things you nail into the bottom.
So they sort of clip clop as you walk along.
Right. So I'm about 18, right? Those tight jeans, so tight in fact I thought I had to went to the doctor, and I said my balls are aching, and I went off. I said, I've got a pain in my epididymis and all this, which I was doing biology, and he went, your jeans are too tight, they're squashing your balls. Right? So I had cowboy boots, right, and pale ones, not even sort of like finished properly, sort of like just the raw sort of leather, cheap wooden bits at the bottom, segs, really tight Levi's, and a red sweatshirt with bullshit on it. That was a present.
Just embroidered on.
I looked pretty hot, baby. Oh yeah, yeah. And I remember once as well. This was really embarrassing. I had leather jacket, and
How old were you?
Oh, this is embarrassing. 26, I think. And I just had a nice leather jacket, right? But I was bored one day, and so it's about 1986, 87.
Yeah.
87 must have been. And I just painted on the lapel a little acid. And that didn't last.
And were you going to acid house raves at the time?
No, of course not. No. But I remember that one didn't last long. That was in the bottom of the wardrobe immediately.
Yeah.
I knew at the time. I just thought, what is that?
Yeah.
But I forgive anyone sort of anything up to about the age of 25, right?
I don't know.
But I mean, it's getting close there, yeah. But certainly up to the age of 20. But it's the 40-year-olds. It is the 40-year-olds that just still have a little go. Goths are the best. Goths are the best.
Or the cowboy stuff, because there's never been a culture of cowboys in this country.
I know,
So you see the 40-year-old guy with the kind of cowboy jacket with the tassels.
Yeah.
Or the bootlegs tie.
Add that, yeah.
Because you've been through most phases. This is what's interesting to me about you, is you're quite self-aware.
But the most committed one was probably the New Romantic when I first went to university. So, 18, red bullshit T-shirt and tight jeans. Within a couple of months, David Sylvian, just full makeup and that.
Can I ask, because having never really subscribed to one of those fashions, one of those styles, with something like New Romantic, which you've got to be quite committed, do you ease into that slowly, start wearing a bit of nail polish, maybe an earring, and then you work your way in, or you went whole hog?
No, I remember the first time I did it was the sort of like the first disco in my first year. Just borrowed someone's makeup, put it on, stopped at the chin, hadn't quite got the so I looked like a mannequin,
right?
And then I sort of got better at it, I suppose.
Right,
wanted to look like David Sylvian. That was the idea, and then it sort of.
And so you had to literally go out and sort of start again with your wardrobe, presumably. The cowboy boots went out, the tight jeans. You had to literally go to a shop and buy an outfit, a New Romantic outfit.
No, it was okay because in those days it was a suit. So it was a New Romantic. You wore the suit. I didn't wear all the sort of like pirate gear and pixie boots. I sort of wore the suit and luckily before I went away I'd bought a suit from my mum's catalogue, which was one of those woolen ones that went bobbly. So not quite David Sylvian, but at least I was having a go. Yeah. Well, respect.
Have you ever subscribed to any of those fashions, Karl?
Nah, just
going for the gay look now. He wears Ben Sherman's and he shaves his head.
I remember wanting some Dr. Martens.
Yeah.
And my mum worked at a college in a canteen, and she knew I wanted some, but she got some. There was an old woman who worked in the canteen who said she had some, and it turned out to be like little granny boots. I ended up having them for a bit.
With a little zip up the front.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant. Did you wear them?
For a bit.
Yeah. Well, you might as well. Want not. Waste not, want not. Play a record.
Have some ads.
All right. White Stripes. The hardest button to button. Steve, I've got to find out the answer. It's been driving me mad. How many words are there in the English language? Does anyone know?
Define your terms. By English language, you mean English words. Words
Yeah,
that
I
are considered to
don't
be
mean
English.
how many words are there in a dictionary with all slang, different how many English words are there that you say were English words? You know, not.
But there are so many of them which
yeah,
are
but not
derived from-
phrases, not slang necessarily. Not.
But what about English words which are derived from French, Celtic, all the rest of it?
Well, like, cliches, okay, but they have other languages in them. But how many different English characters are there?
Right.
Because
There was
Words,
some
not
news.
characters.
There was some news a few weeks ago about a fella who could, if you said a word to him, right, he'd say, "Yeah, that's on page 36 of the dictionary," right, and they said he remembered 80,000 words, right. So that's in a little dictionary. They said it's 80,000 words. Mm-hmm. Right. So does that clear that up?
well, I thought there was about 100,000, right, English words in use, not counting all the other little bits and pieces, phrases, slang. Like, I think I is in there now. Ali G, popular. Now, I don't know whether I should count that or not.
Well, if you're one of our listeners, perhaps if you know somebody who finished school, you could maybe pop next door, get them, ask them, and then email in the answer, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if he's got an answer for that. Talking of email correspondence, Rockbusters. Rick is underway. People
Have we
are
got monkey news?
Absolutely loving that.
Let's see if we can cram it in.
Have we got a film?
Yeah.
We should do that then.
Well,
Let's
hang on,
finish
do
one thing and move
Rockbusters.
on. Jesus, calm down. All right, Rockbusters.
Let's get this third one out of the way because it's tricky.
So when you say tricky,
It's tricky to say.
the initials were AP. It was
when you take your dog out on that, or maybe on a Sunday, you know,
Come on, let him
it's
finish.
tasty.
Rick, let him finish.
you take your dog there. You might go there on a Sunday. Have a taste of it when you're there. Right, that was AP.
The answer.
Alex Parks. Right. Alex.
Alex Parks.
Yeah. It kind of
Karl,
doesn't work, that one.
But
That one doesn't work. I know. It's
You know that one doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, well that's
Well,
fine.
that's,
then
that's
fine.
what I was trying to work out when you were messing around. That's
We've been
why it isn't that
messing
good.
around.
Okay, come on. The other ones.
The first one was the German
gonna be
fella.
brilliant.
Can't do any photos because it's been nicked.
What's
German
that?
fella can't do any photos because it's been nicked.
That was
The initials were?
AC.
I've got it.
I took,
Right, it's Aztec camera.
Yeah,
But what's that got to do with the German fella nicking it?
because the way he'd say it, he'd be like, Aztec camera. So why ain't you taking any pictures? Can't. Why? Aztec camera.
Why is that German?
Just sounds a bit.
Right, do you know that's rubbish then as well? You know that one doesn't work, do you?
And the second one was, if you keep eating, this bit of your body will get bigger. PC, yeah. Phil colons. Phil.
It's honestly right, Karl.
Phil Collins. Phil
honestly,
Collins.
right, okay. I don't know what the PC term is for this, but I honestly think. I think you're quite bright, and I think you're quite streetwise and all that things. But I actually think. Oh, I've got to be so careful here not to offend people. But I think you might be.
Could you maybe describe it through a sound?
You might be educationally subnormal. Does that worry you? No.
I've got by all right. I'm not going to worry about it now. You know what I mean? I'm 30. Do you know what I mean? Why start worrying about it now?
But you've got the mind of a 12-year-old.
So what?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? I don't worry about stuff. If you don't know about stuff, you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Well, if he's educationally subnormal, I'm afraid also Matt Briggs of South East London is as well,
Well
because he
done,
got all
Matt.
three
Well
right,
done.
as did a number of other people.
Well done. Well done.
that.
Yeah,
So he's won that stuff.
he has indeed. Player Record, we've also got your film quiz coming up, and Monkey News, we're all looking forward to that.
Right.
Monkey news.
Bit of Bowie.
Yeah, one of my favourite Bowie songs of all time, Letter to Hermione from Space Oddity.
Have you got any Christmas shopping? I should shoot off and do that now.
Letter to Hermione, David Bowie. Well, we've had the most convincing answer that it's about 290,000 actual words, but possibly 3 million in our vocabulary, using all jargon and scientific stuff and all that.
Sure.
290,000. Still a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot.
We know so little, don't we?
Apparently, the average person has about 20,000 words in their
is it?
vocabulary
Right.
and uses maybe 2,000 a week.
Really?
Yeah. Karl, obviously, slightly bringing that average down.
Carl, what do you think of that?
Single figures.
Doesn't matter, get by. Why have you got to use longer words messing about and that? Told you. That word about old, anti-dipuian or something. Just say old. That's a bit old, isn't it? That's a bit anti-dipuian and that. What's the point?
Yeah.
Get to the point.
Sure.
Busy.
Right, okay. Are you in a film this week, Carl?
We're doing that now.
Yeah, go on. Get it over with.
Hang on a minute then.
Get it over with. Let's get this show over with. We can go home. You can go off to Lanzarote and sit on some ash.
Some charcoal.
He's not happy about that. That's annoyed him. The listeners have all ganged up on him.
Yeah.
XFM giving him 2 CDs.
We've had more calls for his resignation this week than ever before.
What do you think of that, Carl?
What do you mean?
There's another reason.
Do you know what I mean, though? Because he's grumpy. He's not just giving it. He goes, well, I can't have it, can I? I don't want it. You're being paid well to do a job. People have tuned in to be entertained, to have good songs. Me and Steve are working
I'm pressing
here.
the buttons. I'm paid to press the buttons. That's what I'm doing. Has every CD started on time?
Then
Yeah.
why would they give you Monday off if you just paid to press the buttons?
Don't get every other Monday off, do I?
So have you stopped doing that now, have you?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Because there's work to do in that. I'm not moaning about it. Let's get on with it. Right, Scrooge, right, is the film that I'm in. Thought I'd do a Christmassy one.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Get people in the Christmas mood and that.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have got people in the Christmas mood. You're like Santa visiting them.
So
It's you in the film Scrooge.
Yeah,
Which
yes.
version of Scrooge?
the old one.
Is it? If it's just you moaning with bells, I'll be annoyed. Right, go
That
on
is
then.
essentially Scrooge.
yeah.
Right, Scrooge, listen to this, and then there's some question at the end,
All right.
and you can win some stuff and that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You're late.
Only 20 minutes.
What do you mean by coming in here at this time of day? Hmm?
I've just been doing some Christmas shopping, haven't I? Probably do some more shopping on Monday because it's my day off, isn't it?
Yes, I know it is. You don't have to tell me.
Do you want to see what I've bought, Suzanne?
No, thank you.
I don't mind showing you. It's only a Christmas present, isn't it? Just bought some more condoms.
Why?
Well, I bought some last year. Got 2 boxes. They all got used, so
I'm very glad to hear it. How much do I pay you?
why are you asking? So the presents I buy has got nothing to do with what I earn. Like I say, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't go mental on her. Do you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't even tell her because I think she'd want to travel around the world and all that, and I'm not into that, to be honest. So I'd probably keep it quiet.
Why?
Well, once you've been around the world, where do you go next year? Each to their own, though, innit? You know what I mean?
Well, what do you want?
What for Christmas? Not that fussed, really. And you, it's just as well I'm not that fussed, because do you know I do some work at XFM? Do you know what they're giving me for Christmas present?
Nothing?
No, might as well have been nothing. 2 CDs. That's it. I was well fed up.
I'm sure you will.
They give you a list of about 30 albums and you get to pick 2 off the list. So I've gone for Kings of Leon album and the best of Bob Marley.
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. In fact, he died 7 years ago this very day.
Did they? Do you know what sort of donuts Bob Marley likes?
It's not my business.
No, it's not a proper question. It's an old Peter Kay joke. He likes the ones with jam in. Do you get it? Garlic bread. It's good, isn't it?
Excellent.
Oh, Carl, well done.
Karl in Scrooge there. The only man more mean and depressed generally than Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh dear. Oh.
What's the
God.
question, Karl?
Well, if people have been listening from the start, right? What albums am I getting?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Good, yeah.
What albums am I getting from for working for this place for 6 years? All right.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. Michael Franti and Spearhead, Everyone Deserves Music on XFM 104.9, giving away some prizes for
That's
the film.
what the bosses say. Everyone deserves music at
Yeah,
XFM.
absolutely.
Choose 2 CDs.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Well, the two that Karl's chosen are, of course, Kings of Leon's album and The Best of Bob Marley. And Paul from Basildon in Essex, we're going to give you The 25th Hour on DVD, Dr.
That's a
Terrible's
good
Face
film.
the Horrible, Lord of the Rings, The Fast Show Farewell Tour, and the complete second series of The Office. That's still available in the shops.
Was that on DVD?
That's on DVD.
That's good, yeah.
Plus, I think there's probably a best air guitar album in the world ever as well, which we can throw in. I know that'd be a big treat.
No DVD of Animals selling out fast. I couldn't get one myself. So what about some adverts? Snow Patrol and Run on XFM. Wow, nearly your last show, Karl, for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Karl's off to Lanzarote. Next week we're doing it with Ian Canfield next Saturday. Then we're off because it's day after Boxing Day, isn't it? Or 20, yeah. And then we're back on the 3rd, I think, aren't we, all together?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, what have you got? I think we should have done something like some roundups, like Cheeky Freak of the Week. We could have done Cheeky Freak of the Year. What's your Freak of the Year, Karl, if I put it to you?
What, out of all the ones that I found out about?
Yeah, all the ones that have ever been, yeah. Well, no, you have the Elephant Man in there that you found out about at the end of the 19th century. Go on.
Watched The Elephant Man again last week.
Good.
Yeah, loved it. Probably that one, the kid who was like 7, but aged to about 38. That was pretty weird. That amazed me. That sort of blew
No,
my mind.
no, it was worse than that. She was about 90 or something, wasn't she? Had a body
She
of
is
90.
now. But back then,
Oh, a couple of months ago she was 38,
Yeah.
but because of the ageing.
she's sort of aged fast and that.
Yeah.
It's really...
This is the one that you think should be allowed to get fags and beer and an off licence because she's got the body of a 90-year-old.
Well, yeah, it's only fair, isn't it? Let her have a decent life.
Even though she's 6.
If she wants a packet of fags, the doctor said, you're older and that. Even though you're 6, you are sort of 72. If she wants a packet of fags, let her have them.
She was 72 September, wasn't she? Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it was that's
Do
probably
you
the
actually
weirdest
think that would be
thing.
a good idea to give a 6-year-old with an aging disease a packet of fags?
If that's what they want. If that's what they want.
And a pint of Tennants.
All the stress and that she goes through. It was saying something about how she has to have a passport picture done every 3 months or something. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
That's what she's dealing with. So that was probably the weirdest.
Can we just say that Karl doesn't take the mickey out of these freaks,
No.
these people?
I just, it's things that fascinate me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Things like that are weird. And things that, there's certain things that people get excited about that I think, well, what are you getting excited for?
Like what?
News. Do you know I normally do the headlines and that?
Yeah. Have we got any headlines?
Not really, because there isn't that much going on.
Isn't there?
This is what annoyed me, though. There was something about a woman who's going up Everest on a bike. Do you know what I mean? And they were like, oh, brilliant. But I don't think that's that good. When someone's done it walking...
Where
doing it
would,
on a bike's easy, isn't it?
where would the woman who complained about you come in the years chart?
That's
do you mean?
Yeah, that's the woman with the enormous head. Lest we forget. She took offence to some of the comments you made on the show, and rightly so.
I can
quite
understand.
rightly so,
I was out of order, and, so I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, well, I'll just explain again that Karl, it's the freak of the week is sort of like more of a punchy catchphrase than a derogatory term. And Karl's fascination and childlike. I think we'd have to include Karl in the roundup.
Yeah.
He'd certainly be in the top 10.
I think the fact that she didn't sort of pursue any official complaints means that, she's a bigger person than you, Karl.
Yeah, really, because,
Certainly,
well, so...
headways. She is. Karl, you're going to do some news stories, I think.
Well, like I said, there hasn't been that much going on. There's a story about a fella who hasn't eaten for 70 years.
Right. He hasn't eaten. Is that that's all the information you're going to give us?
Yeah, hasn't eaten for 70 years. Hasn't had a drink, but he's all right.
Well, that's rubbish then. Next.
It's not rubbish.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Next. Well, what is it? How is that? How is a man not eaten or drunk for 70 years?
It's that thing, isn't it? Your belly gets used to it or something.
Steve, has he misinterpreted it or is it rubbish?
Well, it does, to be honest with you, it doesn't actually offer any explanation. It just says that that's what happened.
Right, so that's rubbish.
It doesn't go on to
Next.
anything else.
A woman's had 6 organs transplanted. Woman needed a new kidney, a new heart, a new stomach, a new liver, new kidney, intestine.
Does that mean that she's the same woman?
I know. You'd
Yeah.
just say forget it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know?
Well, not really. You know, the organ is just a lump of tissue.
If you're that knackered, call it a day. And don't waste time with that.
Yeah,
And
good advice.
there's a woman who hasn't slept for 8 years as well.
Well, that's impossible.
Again, you want to see that, Steve?
Yeah.
That's the news for the week.
Yeah, all rubbish.
Turn off now.
Next. Do you want to apologise once more for anyone you might have offended over the year?
Yeah, like I say, I never want to upset anyone. We're just chatting about stuff.
It's just chatting. It's from the heart. You see something, you say, "Oh, it looks a bit like so and so," or "Isn't it a bit?" You're not really, you don't really try and hurt anyone's feelings, do you?
But I think most people know that.
And I've got to apologise for laughing at anything you say. I actually can't help it. Again, it's not vindictive, but when Karl comes out with some of the things he says, it's impossible for me not to laugh or react. So have a Merry Christmas, everyone.
Well, before that, Rick, is there some final for the year monkey news?
Tell you what, let's play a good song.
Okay.
Right, we'll have a bit of monkey news, and then that's it.
A bit of Amy Mann then.
Perfect.
Brilliant, this one. No Choice in the Matter by Amy Mann on XFM 104.9. Well, now it's monkey news.
Well, before monkey news, Rick, can I just mention to people, if they enjoyed that version of Free Love Freeway that we played earlier on the show, the kind of alt country version.
Yeah.
That was by Ben O'Sullivan, and hopefully if you check out his website, if you're interested, you probably can download something, or maybe he'll tell you when he's going to release it. That's benosullivan.com, one word, benosullivan.com. Good luck to Ben, happy new Christmas to him, and New Year best of.
Rearrange these words into a well-known phrase of the time of year.
Yeah.
Initials MC.
Okay,
Okay.
play the jingle.
Oh, what is it?
Chimpanzee that.
Oh yeah, chimpanzee that. Monkey news.
Right, well, the last one of the year. It's not that good, but this is all that's been going on all week.
Yeah.
Little monkey. What happened is, it's this plane, right? Aeroflot, I think it is, Russian airline. Having a good flight. Everything's going normal and that.
This is gonna be libelous. The pilot. Sorry, I mustn't interrupt my side. How tall was the pilot on this flight?
Okay, listen, we've had a few complaints. People saying, don't interrupt monkey news.
Okay.
Don't interrupt monkey
Okay, I
news.
won't then.
It's like the weather girl complaining while Trevor McDonald's doing...
Okay, all right. Go on then.
All right, so the flight's going well. Food's been served and all the rest of it. Anyway, someone gets upset about not having many nuts.
Right, they've not got enough nuts.
They hand the nuts out and that. One of the sort of passengers is going mental. Because
What's he saying?
He's just
What
going
language
mad.
is he talking? Is he Russian or English?
So anyway, there's a bit of a fight going on. Fight starts happening. People are going, "What's up with that little fella?" Right?
The little hairy bloke.
So they sort of drag him.
What's wrong with Bob Hoskins? And why is he screaming? Why isn't he talking in his usual Cockney accent? Why is Bob Hoskins screaming and grabbing at nuts?
So you've ruined it. Right?
Come on.
Forget it.
Have I ruined?
Right, Rick, turn his microphone off so he can't
Okay,
interrupt
right.
you.
Right. So anyway, so there's a fight going on. Nuts are going everywhere, right? So anyway, so they manage to tie him down. They get him on the floor, tie his legs up and that, right?
His little legs.
Get him to the...
Come
See you
on.
later. Have a good Christmas.
No! Karl, how dare you? Finish the story.
All that happened is they got back. It turned out that he shouldn't have been on the plane anyway.
Why?
His passport wasn't valid.
Right.
And you can't cause problems on planes and that. So he got put in a cell for a bit. Turned out it was a little monkey. All right.
Quick question, how did he complain about the shortage of nuts?
Yeah.
He just was going mental.
Right, he didn't actually call over a stewardess, he just...
Well, how
wanted
did he get on the plane in the first place? What ticket did he have?
Have a good Christmas and that.
But you
yeah?
know it's rubbish. You
See you
must know
later.
that's rubbish.
All
You
the
must
best.
know that's rubbish.
All the best.
You must know that's rubbish.
Where is he going?
What?
Ricky and Steve are here. Karl Pilkington is away today, so Mr. Ian Cantfield. Stop it! This is my signing off link. Right, look, I'm running into your show now and it's your fault. Mr. Ian Cantfield's with Ricky and Steve today. Jimmy Carr's on X-List duty tomorrow. If you didn't get a request in, I'll see you 10 o'clock next Saturday. Merry Christmas.
Comfort and Sound by Feeder on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
But no Karl Pilkington.
No Karl.
He's in Lanzarote.
Lanzarote,
But
as
we have
speak.
got a very, very special stand-in. It's Camfield. Say hello.
I'm so excited to be here. It's been, the things I've learned in the last 10 minutes before we've even gone on air. Like, you don't have a theme tune.
I don't have a theme tune. I don't wear headphones.
Exactly.
Ian wears headphones with a preamp. He's got 3 midgets just brought in his back line.
Yeah.
Right? They're called Dog, Mongo and Blitzkrieg. Look, Blitzkrieg is up there, like, eating a banana.
Yeah.
He is the king of rock, the new king of rock.
Well,
the prince, he's the prince of rock. Obviously, Vance is the king of rock. But we'll be doing that, we're working out who. Over this, and by the way, Camfield, I don't want the Ian Camfield that does XFM and going, and there's fast approaching 1:23, here's Ash. I want the Camfield that goes, I snorted ants with Lemmy. Okay? So, we want the real Camfield.
All right. I bought in Metal Christmas, is that all right? That's my only request from this show, that we do play Paul Di'Anno's version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. The rest of it's over to you.
Yeah, we're going to play some Christmas tunes. We're going to play some, our favourite hits of the year. But mainly, this is the rock programme. This is the rock programme.
What worries me, Rick, is there's a lot of people who listen to our show and they're not regular XFM listeners. They just kind of crawl
They're
out
not
of
regular
morphine
people.
stupid on a Saturday afternoon, put the show on. So they might not be familiar with
Well, Ian Camfield is a young man. He's been in...
he's about 14.
He's been in radio... It's weird, he's 14, but he's been in radio for 15 and a half years. He was weaned on the milk of a Vance.
Yeah.
Right? And he's going to be the new rock god, aren't you?
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah. No DJ Camfield. Just go, yeah. Right? And over the 2 hours, I want to work out the 4 pillars of rock, right? I want 4 names, 4 pillars of rock, right? Huge rock pillars, and then I want the king who stands astride them like the archangel of metal. So we'll be asking Ian, every few minutes we'll be asking, right, who's your first pillar of rock? And then, keeping the one that stands astride them, okay?
And how many do we need?
Well, we need 5 names then, don't we? The 4 pillars of rock and who stands astride them.
Right, okay. Like the Overlord with these Axe Attack albums.
Yeah. Yeah. This is Oasis. Christmas.
Oasis doing their version of Merry Christmas, everyone. It's Christmas. It seems only appropriate that we play the occasional Christmas tune. There aren't many decent ones.
We will be playing the greatest, not just Christmas, one of the greatest songs of all time, but certainly the greatest Christmas tune of all time, Fairy Tale in New York.
Is that going to be the version done by, what's his name, out of Boyzone?
Has he done one?
Yeah. Because he's lived the hard rock and roll life.
What's his name?
What is his name?
Ronan Keating?
Yeah.
He wasn't bad on Room 101, actually. I think he's lightened up a little bit.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, Camfield, I'm sure you can you've probably got experiences of your own that you might want to talk about, but people ask me what Ricky's like in real life. And I don't want to get grotesque. It's Christmas, people are listening, people are eating sandwiches, but he has a flatulence problem. I don't know if you're aware of this. It is...
It's not a problem.
Right. Well, it is for us. It is for us.
Yeah.
You may not. Yeah. I think the problem with Ricky is Ricky hates to miss out on anything. He's terrified that there's going to be something going on that he's missing out on, a conversation, a joke, someone falling over, And so he daren't spend any time in the lavatory because it's too any period of time he spends in there, he could be missing out on some fun. So he kind of tries to get his lavatory, occupying time down to a minimum, an absolute minimum. Plenty of pissing. There's loads of that, but none of the other activity. Really, I mean, you keep that. Really, it's like you're in, you're out, and sometimes I don't think you've done the full job, Rick.
Yeah.
And today, I tell you this, it was my eyes were bleeding. It's intense. It's just a word of warning because the kitchen at XFM is out of bounds now. No one's going in there until the new year.
A to J in the library.
A to J in the record library. I'll tell you this: I don't know if like Tony Blackburn's in the building.
His wig will fall off.
But seriously,
not that he wears a wig. He doesn't wear a wig.
But if he's going down now, maybe he wants to play some Beach Boys. I mean, seriously, forget I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Forget you might have survived in the jungle, Tony. But you get down there, mate.
Tony, would you rather eat a plate of maggots or go and get Beach Boys?
Exactly.
Saying A to J. Oh, hot pickers.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
It is absolutely extraordinary down there.
Oh,
so I'll just be warned.
But it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Why would Blackburn be listening to this?
I don't know. He's probably doing a bit of Christmas shopping.
Sure.
And he's out and about with probably got his little, personal stereo on.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll listen to the boys at XFM.
Exactly.
And Canfield, what do you think of it so far?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not Vance, is it? Okay, who is secured as one of the pillars of rock?
Lemmy.
Of course he is.
Never changes his boots. 2 pairs of trousers. 3 shirts.
Really?
Yeah.
And he just alternates them, does he?
Yeah,
so he
yeah,
might
yeah.
have the same pair of trousers for 2 weeks, but the different shirt.
Is it true his rider is a bottle of Jack Daniels and 40 Marlboro?
No, it's like one of those 100 packs.
No.
Yeah. One of the 100 packs of Marlboro, and he like keeps them stuck in his boots, which don't change. Actually, I think I'm right in saying like that one of the like 2 left boots as well, because one of them did break. And he had 2 pairs, but he's now only got 1. But he's got the
Well, Lemmy, that is Lemmy then. Lemmy is one of the pillars of rock. What would Phil Lynott get anywhere near this?
Yeah, he would have done.
Let's play some Lizzie then. Don't believe a word. Thin Lizzie on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant, and over there Campbells.
Is that your impression of me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The rock one's better.
The rock one's better.
Yeah, you shouldn't try and be a DJ.
Yeah. Growing up with Diano Tuesday night.
Ian, I know you're keen to know this, Rick. What are your thoughts on XFM? Let's get behind the facade of Canfield.
What do you think about this? Because we used to have, some conversations,
You've been with XFM since the beginning, haven't you?
I've been here forever. Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? I mean, it's not quite magic.
Well, no, a few things are.
Got me eyes on the big 105.4. Obviously, eventually.
What magic?
Yeah.
Now, do you think you want to do like a rock program on something like Virgin or Radio 1 eventually?
Nah, I don't think so.
No.
No.
What do you want to do then? What do you want to do?
I want to start playing stuff like the Eagles and Steely Dan and Bruce Hornsby in the Range. Truth be known.
But you'd have to go quite mainstream.
In your
for that.
bedroom? What?
But on what sort of platform though? Because the good thing about those is they are really popular. They are. I mean, I think the Eagles' Greatest Hits is the biggest selling album of all time now. It's overtaken Thriller.
Yeah.
So I mean, that those.
What are you saying? Iron Maiden aren't popular? Like what I play
Iron Maiden
now?
are actually popular, but they've got a very
Slipknot,
tight fan
Fear
base.
Factory.
I mean, Iron Maiden can go to number 1 with just their fans buying it and then slip away again, can't they?
Yeah.
But everyone sort of likes the Eagles, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I think still. So you could get on sort of like Radio 2 maybe, the rock program on Radio 2. Who does it at the moment? Is there one?
No, there's not one. I should do a demo maybe.
Okay, well let's
I love the way we're talking about my career and other radio stations I could work for. Do you know something I don't?
No,
I'm just saying that this
is
place
going,
is not.
It's going on the tube, isn't it? It's going on the tube. I mean, you're going to be like. I mean, you'd abandon the sinking ship, wouldn't you? You wouldn't hang around, would you? You wouldn't fiddle as Rome Byrne.
I mean, we got a couple of pies cooking in the States, so we're not going to be here to keep it afloat.
No,
the weekends.
We want to take the good guys with us,
right?
So when this crumbles and they make it into a car park for Capital, I want to see you on Radio 2 Friday nights 10 till 12, pure rock.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right. Well, that's the pitch, isn't it? Friday nights 10 to 12, pure rock.
Okay. If anyone's listening to the BBC, it's Canfield. He is the new Vance.
Molten Metal, maybe.
Molten Metal. That's good.
My only concern with TV work for Ian is he doesn't look like the obvious rocker. I mean, people are listening, they probably imagine he's got the long, greasy hair.
But that's the modern look.
T-shirt.
Lots of modern bands now. They've got.
I'm not slagging off. I'm just saying. I wonder if the fans.
They've got short hair. It's not all long hair and strange beards and tattoos.
No, the days of them all looking like Lemmy and smelling like Ricky are well and truly gone.
Yeah. Have you ever had the long hair? Have you ever gone in for that?
No.
Never tried that?
No. But I've got bullet belts and stuff like that.
You're right.
If you'd have wanted me to dress up, I would have dressed up and brought CDs. I mean, obviously I should have prepared more for this show.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're going to play some classic rock, aren't we? I think we're going to play The Who. We got Jump, Van Halen. That's a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've got that about 5 times on every driving album I brought in for you.
Okay, and so
are we going to play Since You've Been Gone?
Yes. Yeah. What's next?
British Sea Power.
Yeah, I thought we should play a couple of singles that we've enjoyed over the last year or so, and this is one of them. Carry On, play at Canfield.
And don't forget, Paul Di'Anno and Santa Claus is Coming to Town's coming on as well.
Paul Di'Anno doesn't snort ants, he snorts anteaters.
Carry On from British Sea Power on XFM 104.9. Not bad at all. Now, listen, we should just point out to people that Karl's away, and we always slag him off because he provides very little But
And he's an idiot.
well, exactly, to be fair. But he's obviously off in Lanzagrote, and he's forgotten to tell us what the password is for our email, Rick.
Idiot.
So we can't get into the email. So we're going to have to use Ian's email instead. ian.camfield@xfm.co.uk if you want to get in touch.
You're never going to have so many emails, Ian.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that right?
you're going to be looking at them all week. It's going to be brilliant for you. You're going to feel really popular. You know what Heat described Karl as a bald little mank twat.
Nice.
Karl was going, brilliant. Is that allowed? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Bless him. Bald little mank twat is back on the 3rd, isn't he?
Well, if there's one thing that magazine's
Well,
good
was
at,
he
it's
suggesting you
accuracy.
can't be regionalist?
What?
Was he suggesting you can't be regionalist? Was that allowed?
No, I just think it's a familiarity of, it's just because we call him a bald little mank twat, that a national magazine can say that. Oh, bless his little round head. Wonder what he's doing now. He's sitting in the ash reading his reading his Rich Hall book. Yeah, he spent a week when he went to where was it, St. Lucia. He spent a week, right, throwing sand at crabs.
Yeah. I don't think they've even got crabs, have they, over there?
No, I don't know
nothing.
what he's going to do. What is he going to do? Suzanne, what is she going to do?
He's going to be whinging.
But it's sort of like, Karl must be like, kid, you must like sit him in front of a video while you go and make the dinner or something.
Yeah.
It must be a nightmare taking a pet. Has she got a little harness for him?
To be fair, though, Rick, I mean, I can't imagine you're much better on holiday. I've always wondered what that must be like. Because you always need an audience. You've always got to have someone around that you can perform for, drop your trousers for.
Annoy,
just generally sing and dance about. And Jane's seen it all. She's bored of you. So what, do you just do this to other people on the beach? Holiday makers, it is me. You can't believe your luck, Ricky Gervais. What,
do you want to be
the
annoyed?
dance?
Do you want me to? Do you want me to annoy you?
Yeah, exactly.
I can annoy you for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I'll get bored
Exactly.
myself. I'll tell you what. I want some ads, and after that, the fairy tale in New York.
Oh.
The Pokes, featuring Kirsty McCall and a fairy tale of New York. Brilliant. On XFM 104.9.
That's the song I think that single-handedly keeps Shane McGowan in gin for another year.
It must do
Just
well,
about
though.
keeps-
but
I'm sure it does.
I absolutely love it. I still love it. I saw it on Top of the Pops too. And it's just brilliant. I mean, he wasn't great at miming, but it didn't bother me.
Sure.
It was miming to a different song, probably.
Yeah, in his head. It was great.
I had a little visit in the week, Rick. I think
Go
you
on.
missed out. A little Christmas visit from, I know he's a friend of yours. He's a friend of anyway. He's a friend of the nation.
Go on.
TV illusionist Darren Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's bought a new pad.
Yeah.
And he just came around to tell me about it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because...
Somewhere to keep his guns.
Exactly. And he... I can never know kind of how much, he's just playing with your mind, experimenting. But he was telling me about the place, and
He
apparently...
say he loves you?
he's got a B-day in
Yeah.
the house. Now, we were discussing B-days because...
Never understood that.
I've never got my head around it. To this
He's
day...
not meant to.
Well, no. But I've never... I don't think I've ever met anyone who's used a B-day.
Oh, Darren Brown does. He's known as the cleanest arse in Modern Magic.
Yeah.
Shiny arse, they call him.
But we were chatting about it, I don't really know, to be truthful, I don't really know how you use them. I don't
Well,
know.
I assume you just sort of go over it and let...
But do you face the wall with your knees on the tiles, or do you face away from the wall?
No, it's sort of like you just... I don't...
And
no.
it's got the little
Do you
nozzle.
sit on it, or do you sort of hover above it?
Do you
I
hover
feel-
over it and just splash things onto them?
No, it's a little jet, isn't it? It does it for you, doesn't
But
it?
is there a jet? This is what I'm wondering. Is there a jet of water that goes up the crap?
It's like it's a drinking fountain
That's
you used
just
to
what
have
I'm
in school.
thinking, yeah.
Which I remember Mr. Mellows used to embarrass himself every time. I go, no, use them in the playground, Mr. Mellows.
Yeah.
It's not a B-day.
We're not at your French, cottage again.
yeah. I don't. B-day sounds French.
I'm assuming it's French.
After they're probably so embarrassed about just sort of like squatting over a hole.
Yeah.
They go, well, at least we can clean it.
Are they? Because I haven't been to France for years. But are they still persevering with the
They're
public
still
toilets?
going
Just
with
the
it.
hole in
They're
the
still
ground?
got. I mean, I think they have got.
Has a single Frenchman travelled anywhere else in the world and
goes,
seen that now?
This
you
is
can actually
uncomfortable. I know. My trousers go
You go
down
to
that.
Delhi, and I think there's proper decent porcelain.
I know. I can't believe it. I think they have got the flush ones now, mainly
Right.
for the tourists.
Sure, yeah,
But
yeah,
I've never
yeah.
really understood that.
But it's not. You don't go in. It's not like because they're literally crapping into an open sewer, aren't they? That's the French approach to the public lavatory. Do they have the bidet next to the hole?
no. The toilet is a toilet, isn't it?
Right.
But it's just like It's sort of like it's like going in the bottom of a shower with a big hole at the bottom. But I don't
And
know.
do you? I mean, again, not wishing to get graphic, but do you use the bidet instead of the toilet paper? Is it used in conjunction with, or
I mean,
instead
do
of?
you know what? I've honestly never used a bidet.
Because it's not
but-
really a working class thing, is it? The bidet.
No, but well, it sort of came in with sort of like purpose-built houses, didn't it? They sort of like shot up all over the. No pun intended. All over the sort of 70s. You know what I mean? It was like in salmon pink. There was toilet, sink, and bidet.
Yeah,
we won't be
yeah.
using the bidet.
Exactly.
Fill it with ice. Put some beer in that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
none of my friends washes their arse.
There are people who refuse to touch their, the hole with the hands, and they only use a bidet. So if they're at a party and there's no bidet,
Well, Karl doesn't like feeding his bollocks for cancer because he says he doesn't like the texture of them.
sure.
Well, so he'd probably love a bidet if he didn't
But are
have to
there
go.
kind of upper class women who just waddle into the dining room in sophisticated trousers around their ankles, going, "Where's the bidet? It's filthy."
Where's the bidet?
I don't know what
We
was-
use the paper. The what?
I think the fish was off. I'm going berserk up there.
Get me a bidet.
Yeah, one of you lie on the floor.
Or I am climbing into the sink and turning the tap upside down. It's the only way I can do it.
Yeah.
Bidet. Thoughts on bidets?
Have you ever used one?
Well, no, you told me all this, but you still haven't got to the bottom of how you use them.
No,
I mean, I don't know.
I
You
don't know how
what-
to use it.
Do they come? You need to ask Darren Brown. Does it come with like instructions, like a flat pack
I
kit
think
or
you're supposed
something?
to know.
about-
I think you're supposed to. If you've bought a bidet, the assumption is you know how to use it.
Imagine someone installing it and going, "There you go, there's a bidet." Go, "Could you show me how to use it?" Well, you like this? Well, no, go to the toilet first. Do the whole thing. Otherwise, I won't know in
I'll
context.
just sit here in the corner. That's fine.
Okay.
Do
well,
you read a magazine when you're normally going? Or
Well, I
what
might
do?
do, but I mean, I don't really want to do it with you here. But how will I know?
Exactly. I need to know how you transport yourself from the lavatory to the
Do you
bidet.
remember when we were trying to offer Karl money to have a shower with Johnny?
Yeah.
That's a
Just
weird
some of the
thing to-
highlights of the year.
That's a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
We nearly had him there, and then he didn't want us to watch.
Yeah.
We said,
Yeah.
"Well, how do we know that you've done it or not?"
Yeah.
He went, "You are definitely bent." That's his conclusion. What we got lined up?
Well, hang on. Let's just say if anyone's got any idea sort of how to use a bidet, maybe
Any idea for anything to talk about on this show?
Well, that doesn't involve crapping or
Yeah,
farting.
we've done that.
Yeah.
We haven't done little Chinese fellas or the gays yet. That's still to come in the second hour.
Ian.Camfield@xfm.co.uk if you've got any thoughts on bidets or just, lavatories generally. Richard Ashcroft on XFM, Check the Meaning. I think it was out this year and we enjoyed it. So we
I
played
suddenly
it.
had a thought then that, someone like Richard Ashcroft, who's really cool. I mean, I think one of our greatest rock and rollers, really. He writes great tunes, does great albums. The Verve, already in history. I just suddenly thought of him listening to this and thinking, I wish they wouldn't play my songs because I don't want to be associated with that drivel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people get a buzz out of it, get it on the radio. Do you think people say don't let Gervais and
Guilty by
Merchant-
association.
Do you know what I mean? They've just been. I love that song. I love Check the Meaning. I thought it was a lovely song. And he's thinking they're going to sandwich it to bring talk about little gay Chinese fellas and bidets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to make me look
What worries
bad.
me, Rick, is that if we had to draw up some kind of list of artists who would allow us to play their songs, it's going to be such a short list. Gary Glitter, it's just going to be a few people who, are slightly more shameful than us.
I just thought of something. There are 1 billion people in China, and I assume it's the same percentage of homosexuality occurs as that to 1 billion, 1 in 10. That means there's 100 million little gay Chinese fellas running around.
Richard Ashcroft, if you're listening, I apologise for that last...
Think about it.
thing.
John Lennon, you okay? War is over. I heard a DJ in the week. I won't say who it was, but sort of like a cheesy sort of housewife choice DJ, and he played that, and he went, weird one, that, isn't it? What do you think of that the first time you heard it? Strange one. John Lennon, Yoko Ono, war is over. Here's the moment, at least, out there. I love that.
Oh.
What does he mean?
That's exactly what I want from a DJ. That
Yeah.
kind of insight.
We were talking before the break about how many little Chinese fellas there are.
Yeah.
Billions.
An awful lot of them.
Brilliant, good, more the merrier.
Are you familiar, Rick, with the scary fact, I don't know, Camford, if you're aware of this, and
Go
it's
on.
chilling. I don't know where I've heard this from, but apparently, and this is kind of legend, I didn't just make this up, this is well known, that if all the Chinese people in China, right, no, come on, if they all jumped up and down at the same time, Apparently, this is what they say. Apparently, it would cause a tidal wave
that would wipe out America.
that would destroy America.
I love the idea of coordinating that.
Brilliant. Well, I like the idea. Firstly, they don't need weapons of mass destruction. They don't need nuclear weapons because they got that threat.
They can't
constantly.
have on that. You can't count a tidal wave as a weapon of mass destruction.
Or jumping.
Tony Blair could send in sort of people, UN people going, look out for anyone jumping.
Exactly. Because all they need is an immense sort of skipping rope.
Oh yeah, once a little fella in Japan holding one end, a little fella in Russia holding the other,
Exactly, yeah.
and they go on your marks. You'd have a lot of coordination over that one little.
Maybe like someone like Mr. Motivator, kind of coordinating it all from the top of the wall, sort of looking down.
The Chinese equivalent.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That would be
because I think that's why they built the wall. I think that's why they built the Great
jump
Wall.
off the wall.
Exactly. They just climb on that wall. That's why that's the threat.
And that's why America started the space race, because you can see it from space.
Exactly.
So they go.
They're up there monitoring constantly.
This is Eagle to Houston. There's lots of little Chinese fellas about to jump.
Yeah.
This is Houston. Are they wearing them?
We just need to confirm they're Chinese. Are they wearing those? Are they wearing those comical hats that look a bit like a lampshade?
They
Yes,
are.
they are.
We just have to confirm they're Chinese.
Because if I was the leader of China, what is the name of it? Is he the king of China?
We're so ill-educated, aren't
Is
we?
it the king of China? The czar of China?
King, is it? What is it?
Is Chairman Mao still there? Is he
It's
still
chairman someone. Chairman someone else probably. The new chairman. I
Or
don't
chairwoman,
know.
don't be sexist. And
Actually, when I said there's a billion people in China, so there's 100 million little gay Chinese fellas.
Yeah.
Someone phoned up to say half of them are women.
yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah.
Straight on the phone with that.
Well, I meant little lesbian fellas or little gay fellas.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't being sexist.
But if
I'm
I
just
was-
saying there's probably 100 million little gay Chinese people.
What worries me, Rick, is if I was the premier of China, or if it was some of the people I went to school
it
with.
premier?
Oh, whoever is the king of China. If I was the king of China, right? Isn't he the king of China and king and I? Or is that he's somewhere else, isn't he?
That's Siam, isn't it?
I don't know.
We're
Is that not,
rubbish, aren't we?
is that not in China?
We're not.
Where's Siam then?
We're not. It's still on now, isn't it? I don't know. Or was that? Oh my God! Someone educated listening must be tearing their hair out,
screaming
listening
at
to three buffoons
But listen,
in a room.
if I was the king of China, let's assume it's the king of China.
Okay, yeah, you'd be tall.
But you know when sometimes you've had a few drinks, whatever, I mean, I'm sure you've done that thing where you order a pizza for someone, a mate or whatever, or send a taxi around to their house, something like that.
Yeah.
What I do is I just phone up George W. Bush and go, seriously, mate, you better send some stuff over, money and that, and videos, because seriously, they're all outside now. 1, 2...
Yeah.
And you can freak them out. It'd be
Send us
brilliant.
some knives and forks, because I am fed up with these sticks.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know why we're still sticking with them.
I can't pick up the tiniest little bit of chicken.
It's crazy.
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
Send us some cutlery.
I'm having a nightmare eating yogurt.
Oh dear. This is 104.9 Racist FM.
Absolutely.
Jonah Louis. Should we apologise for that?
Not at all, no.
That's right,
Stand by it, yeah, it's
That
good.
was his follow-up to You'll Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties.
Yeah.
One of my favourite lyrics. She was into French cuisine, but I ain't no cordon bleu. Brilliant.
Yeah, looking forward to playing that in the new year.
What happened to B.A. Robertson?
Don't
He
know.
knocked it off. I was standing in the corner and the ball came across. What was the other one he did?
I don't know. We're not as old as you.
Oh, no.
This is all gobbledygook to us.
XFM 104.9. That's
Yeah.
Jonah Louis.
Yeah, you're not listening to classic gold. Amazingly.
I've still got my own teeth.
I think, Rick, I was the subject of a Christmas con in the week.
What, you mean you bought something for £4, then saw it for £4, £3.90 as you walked home?
That would make me livid.
Because I've seen you really livid.
I'm absolutely furious. When I bought my PlayStation, I saw I could get it for £5 cheaper down the road. I was absolutely
And you'd
fuming.
already walked to about 19 places,
Oh, God,
I remember.
yeah.
I actually left you after about an hour.
Yeah.
Can you
No, I
work
do.
out?
I'm furious because I got to get a bargain. I hate the feeling that I'm being ripped off.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, I'm loving online shopping. Oh, the savings I'm making, Rick.
Really?
It's crazy.
Really?
Getting 15, 20 quid off some things.
Is it really?
Oh, amazing.
But these things, I might point out, are like Jaguars and Mitsubishi cars.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's worth shopping round.
No,
Go
this
on.
was not so much a con. It was a con, but it wasn't so much one of those just a missed bargain.
Yeah.
Doorbell rings, answer it. It's a couple of girls. They must have been 13 or 14, maybe. Now, I've always had a problem with teenagers. I'm intimidated by teenagers.
In case they call you a dork or something.
Well, I mean, I told you before, I was walking down the street once, and there's two guys coming towards me. I mean, real losers. Do you know what I mean? Glasses, the spots, greasy hair. Do you know, really pathetic. And I was sniggering to myself. I was thinking, look at those losers. And as I passed them, I heard one of them look at me and say to his mate, look at that geek. I was furious. I was thinking, I'm allowed to call you a nerdlinger, but gee, I don't expect it back. I was really furious and upset. And so, as I say, these teenagers are at the door, and they were quite aggressive quite aggressive girls, and they had a piece of A4 paper, and they went, "We're doing a sponsored thing."
Yeah.
But I didn't quite catch what it was they were doing that was sponsored. I think they sort of fudged it. They went, "We're doing a sponsor."
Oh yeah.
And I went, right. And they went, "Do you want to sponsor us?"
Boy, they picked on the wrong person.
I was a bit intimate. I don't know why I said no. I was worried maybe it was part of some kind of, hidden camera show,
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah, all right, I'll sponsor you. So they handed me this form, and I always thought you were supposed to have quite an official-looking form for any sponsorship thing. But this was literally a piece of A4 torn out of a notepad.
It was the back of a Gareth Gates poster.
Exactly. And,
with some blue tack on it.
Yeah, well, and I looked at it, and I didn't really absorb it, but it had things like, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Smith, £5.
Yeah.
And then no one's actual address, just Finchley Road, nothing too specific.
Yeah.
So I wrote my name on, and put down £3. 'Cause a lot of people were giving $5, but I thought, I'm not made of money. It's Christmas. I've got to buy gifts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I
Gave him a £5 and asked for change.
yeah. Well, I gave them £3. I said, I'll sponsor you for £3. Best of luck. And they went, "Can we have the money?" And I said, "Well, aren't you supposed to do the thing?" And the woman the girl just looked at me. She just went, "No." So I gave her £3.
But what difference does it make?
Well, I'm assuming, though, that it's not going to any charity. It's no sponsored thing at all.
But then I'm not being funny. The charity that it's not going to, you wouldn't have given to it anyway.
It's true enough.
So all that's happened is you're £3
But
down.
I'm £3 down.
Yeah, but if it would have gone to charity, it'd be £3 down. The fact that it hasn't gone to charity doesn't matter because you wouldn't have given it to charity.
Yeah, but if it had gone to charity, Rick, I'd have felt a little bit superior, a little bit smug. That would have kept me going for another 6 months. Whereas now it's just gone to a couple of weeks off the street, who are scamming people, possibly old people, Rick, and that's who I feel sorry for. They've not got a great deal of money. That's why I'm not worried about myself. I've got a bit of cash. What about the old people?
Yeah. Although you are £3 down, which probably still hurts, doesn't it?
It's still stinging. That's why I just like to tell you now, get off my chest. It's an
Merry
emotional
Christmas.
thing, yeah.
Just be careful.
If you're living up in North London, be careful. There's 2 girls that are going around. I expect, they might come to your door.
But they
Be
might
wary.
be genuine.
No, I don't think so.
No.
They were common. They were very common. Do you know what I mean?
Was the giveaway things like, Santa Claus had given £10,
Exactly.
Tony Blair had given £1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I think you were conned, mate.
Yeah.
Right. Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who. Ian, I'm going to ask your expert opinion. Is that not one of the greatest rock songs of all time?
Yeah, if you'd have played the proper version of it.
I know, but it's 6.5 minutes, and we usually do, but we just thought, it's Christmas, people want to, have him and more Jonah Louis.
Yeah, but we could have played like the full 8 minutes rather than making the show sound like strolling round your local Asda with the Christmas songs with a little bit
That
more
to me
racism.
sounds like
put in.
fighting talk. You want a rock challenge, Canfield. You can't handle the truth. I'm gonna rock this out the last 40 minutes.
Can we put Keith Moon in the monolith?
I was going to ask you. He's my favourite drummer of all time. Will you go along with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got Lemmy and Keith Moon.
Yeah.
Are we making up a kind of super rock band here?
We could do. We could make up a super rock band.
That's far too passé. Let's call it the monolith of rock. It sounds more stupid.
Okay. So we got Lemmy and Moon.
Yeah.
We need 3 more. So we need 2 more pillars of rock, and then one to stand astride it, like the metal angel of death.
Now, Ian, you've hung out with some of the big rock names, haven't you?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going anywhere with this. I'm intrigued. Tell me some of the people you've hung out with. You've hung out with Maiden, have you?
I've hung out with Maiden.
don't you?
I've been flying with Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah. And have you? I mean,
it only took us 3 attempts to land at Gatwick a few weeks ago.
But I don't know much
Really?
about you, Ian. Are you someone who lives the rock and roll excess lifestyle? Are you kind of drink and drugs? Is that your thing?
I like to be kind of on the edge, having a look at what's going on inside.
Right. I don't quite know what that means.
Well,
It's the way they talk, Steve.
Well, I mean, because some of those rockers, they're hard-living boys. Can you keep up with them? Do you up till 4 a.m?
Oh, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
4 in which
Hey,
morning?
Daddy-o, man. We're going out about 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Karl reckons the gays go out late.
Yeah.
His favourite song is The Killing of Georgie, right? And he went, yeah, but would it have happened if he'd have been, going out a bit earlier?
Yeah. Well, no, fair point.
Yeah.
Is that song time specific then?
No, but he reckons he probably got, because he was out late.
Oh, right, okay.
He said there's one that works here, sometimes he doesn't go out till midnight.
But, I imagine you a little bit like that little boy in the film Almost Famous, when you're on tour with the rock legends. Do you know what I mean? You're like, the little kid there, maybe the doors are being closed in your face, are they, as they go berserk?
Yeah, when I started, but now, I insist I have...
he was one of theirs.
Yeah, I access all areas laminate, I can enter venues now with a big bottle of Jack Daniels, I don't get stopped.
Yeah.
Really?
But seriously, have you, without naming names, obviously, what excess have you seen? Have you witnessed anything? Or have people calmed down now? Are these rockers clean living now?
Depends who you're talking about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything going on like the days of Ozzy and Motley Crue?
I haven't seen. I haven't seen any red snappers like with Jimmy Page. Do you know that story? I can't talk about it. Then let's forget about that. Yeah.
Oh, is it disgusting?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But is it worse than talking about B-days and Ricky's farts?
Kind of.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't want the instruction manual as to what happened with the red snapper, like
Right.
you do with the B-days.
Sure.
God.
But don't, as I say, don't name names. Obviously, there's a sort of client, doctor confidentiality or whatever that you.
Yeah, well, I saw.
We know there's no one listening.
Yeah.
So it won't go further than this studio.
I saw a member of a very big band play the Astoria recently, and they turned up at the Astoria about 15 minutes before they were going on stage, right? And someone said to them, "Is it good to be playing the Astoria?" To which he turned around and went, "Oh right, are we in London?"
Really? Oh dear.
And this person then
It
managed
wasn't
to play.
Daniel O'Donnell, was it?
I can only think of the Libertines. No, that's not a very big, huge band, is it? No.
Bigger than that. Bigger
Yeah.
than
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
What other rock and roll excess do you want? Oh, I was told once that if you stay up for 2 days, the best thing to do is eat some yogurt. This is just like we're going to having tips now.
Sure.
Yeah, So if that's apparently the best thing at the end of the excess, you need some yogurt. So always keep some in the fridge.
Yeah.
And chopsticks are no good.
No,
That
it's not.
Yeah,
You need-
so don't, whatever you do, don't go on a bender in China, because otherwise you'll be screwed, right?
No, there's no benders in China. Oh, there are. There's about 100 million.
Yeah. Another tune that I enjoyed this year, Rick. I don't know what your thoughts are on it. I'm fascinated to find out.
Loving it.
Jay-Z and Farrell and Frontin.
What do you think, Canfield? Darkness #1?
Yeah, well, they cheated, didn't they? Because they went and did their signing at HMV yesterday, so they could get in like an hour of extra sales.
Why is
Just
that
so they
cheating
could-
now?
Well, I don't know. Well, I suppose Gary Jules could have turned up at Virgin down the road, couldn't he? And
Yeah.
Okay, well, then in that case, they're
that
going.
deserves to be sort of #1 because at least it's potentially a sort of evergreen sort of Slade type classic, and they are the biggest sort of band around at the moment.
Canford, what are your thoughts? You love rock. What do you make of The Darkness?
It's all right. Been around for a while now.
Sure.
Another year maybe.
But they're all the ingredients of everything you like, I imagine. They've got a bit of glam, they've got a bit of Queen, they've got a bit of AC/DC. It's all in there. You've got a bit of Bruce Forsyth. You know what I mean? He's funny. They're a good fun band, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all right.
they're essentially just too close to novelty. But then so was Slade in a way. Slade have only got this credibility resurgence in retrospect. At the time, they were a pop band that essentially were for teenagers and thugs.
I'm not sure Canfield's going to be championing Slade, though, up there in the same way that he champions The Maiden.
But you got to appreciate what Hold has done, surely.
Yeah, I appreciate what Holder's done. But they only became cool, didn't they, when Oasis covered them?
Yeah, I genuinely always like Slade, and I've still got a soft spot for him. But The Darkness, we'll have to wait and see.
At least The Darkness one is irresponsible for the kids of today, though, because the amount of spelling mistakes that Slade were responsible for at school in the 70s
With
must
the
be
Zs,
atrocious.
putting the Zs in.
Rubbish.
Ian, I'm going to have to ask you for our third pillar of rock before the ad break.
Right, well, we need... have we got... So we've
got Lemmy and Moon.
Right, okay. I think we need to put in... we need a guitarist in there. We should maybe put in Keith Richards. I'm a little bit worried about the health scare because the kind of air pollution around any venue that this band might play with, like, Lemmy and Keith Richards there.
Yeah,
See, I'm surprised at Keith Richards because I would have thought it was heavy enough for you, but the Stones have done enough to get in the annals of rock.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play some ads.
Quick question. Do you actually speak like this, Ian?
What?
You do
This
actually
is
talk-
it.
This is your real voice.
This is real voice, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Do your daytime sort of voice, the X-list voice. Say it's fast. It's just coming up to 2 on XFM 104.9. After the break, we've got Feeder. Say that.
It's just coming up to 2 on XFM 104.9. These are the ads.
Trouble with that song is, don't know about it. It could sound like he's saying something to do with Bell Ends.
Well, yeah.
What?
Heaven forbid.
What? You think you meant that?
Did he?
Probably.
No.
That's The Darkness on XFM 104.9.
Belen.
Yeah.
What other rude words are there?
Cock.
Yeah, that is rude.
Yeah.
Especially at Christmas.
Especially at Christmas, yeah.
It's time for families.
I know. Now listen, time for family. Now, Ian,
Yeah.
who is your fourth? We need a lead singer in this mega group, the monoliths of rock.
Who we got? Lemmy, Keith Richards.
We've got Keith Richards on guitar. We've got Lemmy on bass.
Yeah.
We've got Keith Moon on skins.
Right. Some terminology coming out there. Yeah.
Who's doing the Vox? Who's given Golden Tonsils Award?
Robert Plant.
He's gone for Plant. He's gone for Plant.
A lot of trap names there.
There is the group. The lineup is Moon, Lemmy, Richard, Plant. Okay. Now our competition, Steve. Name that group.
Okay.
What's the best, heaviest rock name ever?
Sure. This is obviously not a name that already exists.
No.
Okay.
My
you
mate of
thought
mine
yourself?
came up with, I think it was Brain Hammer, which I like. Velvet Nazi 666.
Sure.
So we want the heaviest, most mental piece of death metal, headbanging, bleeding out your brains rock. Axe Attack. Okay.
Please welcome to the stage, Christ on a bike.
Please welcome to the stage. Oh, look at you.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would freak out the metalers.
Yeah. Cheeky.
Yeah.
Oh, now listen. They need a manager. They need someone who could introduce them. They need someone to stand astride them. Who is the leader now? Who is the king of all that rocks?
Well, it's obviously Tommy Vance, isn't it?
Do you know what worries me, Rick? We've said Vance a lot today. I'm wondering if the kids today, do they know Tommy Vance? Are they
What do you think
familiar
that,
with him?
If they don't know, they shouldn't be listening.
Okay. Fair enough.
So Vance is their manager. He needs to. They're on at Wembley. He's got them on at Wembley. They're the greatest rock band of all time. We need the name. Please welcome to the stage. What are they called?
We'll,
Phone in, email in, and the prize we're gonna get some.
We'll rummage through the bins as Karl normally does.
Some old tat like Karl does.
We'll
Some
dig something
VHSs, some CDs. Greatest air guitar ever.
Betamax.
Yeah.
What's the? Do we need to give out the numbers and
Well,
stuff?
can email,
Don't get
can't
them
they?
to phone in. You don't want to talk to him, Ian, seriously.
No, you know when what's his name says to Agent Starling as she's going to meet Hannibal, don't let him inside your head.
Yeah.
Don't talk to the listeners, Ian.
Exactly, it's very much the same
Please
thing.
I'm a bit concerned that my email's going to be besieged by people sending you links to how to clean out the B-Day.
Well, that's all right.
The week.
But
Make
what's
sure
the most mental, head bleeding, banging brain hammer operation this band can be called? Call in.
Rick, because it always amuses me. I know it's cruel to put you on the spot, but some of your former band names have always amused me.
Well, the worst. The worst one. Right, I'll just leave you this.
Ricky's had a number of bands over the years. What was the
worst one? Ready? Get ready to play that record because I don't want any aftermath.
No, hang on, before you tell me, what was the one? Because these pictures of you, like when you were New Romantic, keep on being published.
That was Shauna dancing.
Yeah, but someone...
That's pretty bad.
But someone told me, they were like, oh, ask him about when he tried to be Bon Jovi. Can you imagine such a thing?
I know the name you're thinking of. Right, here we go. Play the record. Immediately I say this. Ready? For Sacred Hearts. Play a record.
Blur on XFM 104.9. I forget the name of that track, but it's good.
Good song.
Thanks very much. Oh, good song.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I just thought you were complimenting
giving us
him.
opinion. Right,
Yeah.
go on.
The what?
Are we still on the air?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Merry Christmas.
We got someone on the line.
Oh, right. He's here.
Who's that?
Ricky,
Yeah, go on.
it's Jonathan. How are you?
Good. It's only TV's Jonathan Ross.
Ross, turn your radio down, you idiot.
I'm here. I like to. I haven't got a radio on. What are you talking about?
We can hear the feedback.
Well, I haven't got it. It's not my fault. It's your incompetent radio station.
And also, didn't you hear? We said don't call in. We don't want to speak to the listeners.
I'm not a listener. I'm a visitor to your shores. I'm special. You know that full well.
I know you're special, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What have you got a name for the band?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Blump. B-L-U-M-P. I tell you for what, you can't have a normal word. If it's the monolith band of all time, if it's the big, you can't have a regular word. It doesn't make sense. How can you have a regular word? All these ideas you've come up with are rubbish. You need a word which only stands for that one thing. No one's heard it before. No one will use it again. Blump.
I can't help but feel that that's a more appropriate name for maybe one of Ricky's bands.
Yeah. I love seeing that picture of him in that band. You see it everywhere these days. He was like a girl. He was like a little girl in a suit. It's like a little dyke at a wedding. What was that?
That's got to be the kettle calling the pot black, surely.
I've always got nothing but 100% heterosexual. We're not sure about. There's not anything wrong with it. I know that, but look at you.
I actually had to get that in. There's not anything wrong with it. I'm Jonathan Ross. Oh dear. I was thinking the other day, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Comedy Awards.
Yes, sir.
You didn't half say some awful things about poor celebrities, poor has-been celebrities with coke addictions and fat lips and faces that where surgery's gone wrong and everything. And when they're on the show, they're going, "Oh, you look lovely."
Yeah,
oh,
I'm nice
so
to
good.
Well, I'm nice to them to their face, but obviously when I'm not with them, I like to let my true feelings be known. What's wrong with that? That's how everyone
Well, I'll tell you what, you can get anything off your chest you want on this show. Any celebrities you want to talk about?
There's no one listening.
Yeah, it's just between me and you.
A lot of people listen. They listen to my show, and after they've had a few hours of good laughs, they like something bland to just cool them down afterwards. So they flip over. We know this happens.
Did you mention my DVD on your radio show?
You know what?
today?
I forgot to. I forgot to mention it.
Christ!
I meant to mention by the office, but I forgot to mention it. And then I thought afterwards, it's not like he needs the cash, is it? It's
There
not
we
like
go.
It's not like he needs it. It's not like it is, but he's probably earned more money in a short space. You're like a lottery winner, and you've got about as much taste. You're like one of those burglars who's won the lottery.
I am. I'm dressed like an Albanian window cleaner at the moment.
Burglar from Reading who won the lottery, and now he's fritting it away on what?
I do feel sorry for my neighbours. I've moved into a really nice place. I feel like it's the hillbillies.
No, it's nice you've moved in though, because it's nice. It's given them something to sort of talk about behind your back. You've united the whole block.
Right, go and play with some Japanese wind-up toys now.
I'm
Ross.
going home to play Mario Double Dash with my son. It's going to be a good afternoon.
I phoned you once after I finished my show. It's about 5 minutes past 3.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if I said, "How you doing?" You went, "It's brilliant." You said, this is what you said. You went, "Everyone's out. Jane's taking the kids out. I've already masturbated twice, and I'm playing with a new Japanese toy."
I'm masturbating now.
Yeah, Kings of Leon, Wasted Time on XFM 104.9. Sorry, I was sidetracked there by just some of the band names.
Now listen, I want to put in 2 of my own. I want to win that pile of tat out there, right? I've got 2 names here, okay?
Would you just remind people in case they've just tuned in?
Oh yeah,
what's
Ian
going on?
Canfield has chosen his mega band of all time. He's got Keith Moon on drums, he's got Lemmy on bass, he's got Keith Richard on guitar, he's got, who have you got singing?
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant, and their manager is Vance, but he needs to announce them at Wembley Arena. They're already sold out. They're at number 1 in the album charts. They're the greatest rock band of all time. And I've got 2 suggestions.
Okay.
What about this?
Please welcome to the stage.
Tungsten lung hemorrhage.
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
Please welcome to the stage.
God dildo.
God dildo, interesting. Nice juxtaposition there of God, the Almighty Creator, and a dildo. Nice use of some contrasting imagery there.
Yeah.
Powerful and topical.
Tungsten lung hemorrhage.
Yeah. We've had a couple also on the email. People didn't really include their names, but who cares? Please welcome to the stage, Balls of Steel.
Balls of steel,
Oh,
yeah.
And we've had like Brain Hammer.
Yeah.
Brain hammer's good. I
Lots
like
of
brain hammer.
brain-related stuff.
Quite liking the idea of tumour fish.
Tuna fish. I like.
Tuna fish is very good.
I like tuna fish.
I just wonder if there's one more contender. I don't know who this was, Ian, that phoned in with it, but possibly it's topical. Deathly Hem.
Yeah.
Deathly Hem.
It's brilliant.
Oh, it's Deathly Hem.
Please welcome to the stage, Deathly
It's
Hem.
Deathly Hem. Who's that? We've got to give it to
I don't know who that was.
Oh,
but,
well, if you came up with Deathly Hem, email again. Deathly Hem. It's the greatest name for the greatest rock band of all time. Will you please welcome to the stage, Deathly Hem? It's Golden Tonsils. Isn't it?
I was going to go see him once at the Camden Underworld about a year ago, and they had this sign up, right, saying that Graham Bonnet, who sung that song, had cancelled, right, and it said, God willing, he'll be performing tomorrow. And just in case you thought he'd cancelled because maybe no one bought any tickets, the doctor's certificate was beneath the cancellation sign.
Brilliant. Well, we've sung that a couple of times drunk, haven't we, Ian?
Oh, but,
At the top of our voice.
We have done it. It is the best ever.
Yeah, it is.
Ben has won whatever you're giving away.
Yeah, a
Ben
big
came
pile
up with
of
Deathly
crap that
Hem.
we find. Yeah, Deathly Hem.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are in a rock band, you're looking for a name, and you think you deserve that name, then write to us. We want to know that you're really heavy, and Ian Canfield would officially hand over the deeds of the name Bethlehem.
Deathly Hem?
Deathly Hem, yeah. Deathly Hem. They only play at Christmas. You only play like big venues at Christmas, and it's all things about like fighting, like good versus evil, and God versus the devil. And you got to write songs like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deathly Hem on XFM 104.9.
Perhaps that the debut should certainly be a concept album based on the Nativity play.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Nativity,
Brilliant.
yeah,
Or
that'd be
just
good.
the whole kind of Old Testament in kind of rock form.
Yeah.
We're extraordinary.
It's the battle for humanity.
Yeah.
It's called Humanity Manatee, and it's a fight in the ocean of hell.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'd like to see a serpent. Maybe pictured
There'd be
somewhere.
a serpent,
in
isn't it?
there.
Track four.
Yeah.
Track four. Yeah.
I think we should give massive props and suitable regards to Ian Canfield. He's come in, he's pressed the buttons.
He stood in for an idiot brilliantly.
Yeah, I
he
think
has
so.
stood in for the retarded.
It's a shame that you've not displayed some of the usual incompetence that we've come to love and expect from Karl. It's a shame.
Okay, well,
You are the greatest DJ in the world, though. The way you sort of like drop
Press
these
buttons.
But you know.
Every time I've pressed a button off air, Ricky's been going, "Oh, what great DJ!"
It's great because he ends it. It's just brilliant. I mean, we're lucky if we can talk with the mic on. That's the title, not talk over a record.
We did some great links during the ads.
Yeah, and of course, Jonathan Ross masturbating live on air.
Just looking back at some of the highlights of
You
this
don't get
week's
that
show.
on Capital Gold, do you? Like Tony Blackburn getting a call from Fluff Freeman going, "All right, mate, I'm knocking one out."
Yeah.
Well, have a lovely Christmas.
Have a bloody great Christmas.
Have
mate.
a bloody great Christmas. It's the best of next week.
Yep.
The best of the last few weeks with some tat, you know, Carl's put together.
We're
Look
back in
forward to that.
January.
We're playing some of our favourite songs of the year.
I'm looking forward to seeing Pilker's tan and
Pilker's
pictures
back,
from his holiday.
covered in ash from the beach.
Yeah.
And we're back on the 3rd, I believe. But Ian, do you want to introduce one? This is Ian's choice for today.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week in spirit, and then we're back on the 3rd with Pilkers. Over to you, Kampf.
Enough of Jonah Louis. This is Paul Di'Anno, ex of Iron Maiden, doing Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
That was the record before us, and here we are, pre-recorded, because we did this a few weeks ago, because we're not here at the moment, are we? We're away in that. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
And Karl Pilkington. Well,
He's not actually with us.
No.
He'll be in some of the best of clips that will be coming up shortly.
yeah, this is just us, isn't it?
This is just us. We did this. When did we do this, Rick? A couple of weeks back.
Hold on, what is it? What
It's the
day is it?
27th today.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Christmas. I loved Christmas.
I love Christmas.
I had a
love
great
Christmas.
time. What do you get?
Loads of presents.
So did
and
I.
I'm glad they made it to number one.
I'm really glad.
Stroke, he, she.
Yeah, I'm really glad that the pop idols, Cliff Richard, Westlife, made it to number one.
Bo Selector.
Bo Selector.
Yeah, just delete that. As,
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to play some of the best of, some of the greatest moments of the last 3 weeks
Yeah.
ever heard on XFM 104.9. What about this? Do you remember this one?
Oh, which one is it?
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Over there, Karl Pilkington. The man who believes anything. I think it might be a condition due to his little round head. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like, it might be a new condition that we can call cranial spherity, and because it presses on his lobes, and the only sort of upshot of that is he's normal everywhere, but he believes everything he reads or sees on Anna Nova. All right.
Talking of which, Rick, I don't really follow the news.
No.
It's mainly boring, isn't it? Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, it is a war. It's all this nonsense before and after. When it's a war, it's it's in the middle of the war. You can watch it on telly.
True.
You get results.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a test match or something. But it's all this rubbish before and after. It drags on.
This recent war seemed, I thought, just generally, it was better presented than the previous one. Because I remember the first Gulf War, it was often during the night, and I couldn't stay up.
Yeah, because I think the American had rights to it, like the Tyson fight, so we had to get it at 2 a.m.
Exactly.
Which is annoying. They had it, their prime time in that.
Yeah,
and a lot of it was in black and white, when the bombs went in.
When the bombs going in.
So
this time there seemed a lot more colourful stuff.
Yeah, it's much better coverage. I think there should be awards.
Yeah, well, I'd like to
for
see
it.
awards,
So,
yeah.
like Channel 4 won for cricket.
Yeah, I mean, a few times as well, I was quite pleased to see they actually had footage of the bombs exploding.
Yeah. No, good. Well done.
Generally,
good
good
on you.
stuff.
Well done. Good on you.
Yeah,
It costs a lot though, doesn't it?
It isn't a costly
War's
thing.
a lot more. When you got something like a Jimmy Carr game show, which probably costs about £100.
Yeah.
Like half an hour of war costs millions.
It's almost as
man.
expensive as like Terminator 3 or something.
Yeah. But I mean,
But then,
you got to have variety.
Exactly.
Sorry, Steve, you were talking, mate.
Well, no, I just wanted to make sure you're aware that the World Elephant Polo Championships have taken place.
I did get it. I
You're
think
aware
they
of that?
mentioned it on. Yeah, we won, didn't we?
England won.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, where have they been practicing?
I don't know.
Do you remember ever at school anyone ever saying to you, "Are you interested in playing polo
Do you reckon
with
it was,
elephants.
do you reckon it was 5 blokes in pith helmets kept sneaking into a whipsnade?
Possibly.
What are you doing, lads? We're practicing. Get down.
Yeah.
Get off them elephants.
Yeah. I didn't even know we had a team. I can't
Elephant-
believe it.
no,
But it's like Johnny Wilkinson and the rugby lads, they're going to get MBEs, all sorts. The elephant boys, the elephant polo boys, nothing.
They're going to nothing.
I haven't seen the
But
sun
to
talking
be,
like
to be
them.
fair, it's not like horse polo where I don't think there's a stick long enough. I think the elephants kick it, don't they?
I think you might be right. I think they're not allowed to use their tusks.
They'd burst it, won't they?
I think that's-
They go, oh,
Start again.
Raheem!
Yeah.
What do you mean the elephants kick it?
All right, I've opened a can of worms here. You know, normal polo on a horse, they have like...
yeah, stick and
mallets.
that.
Yeah, they whack them, right? But I think it's obviously they're too high up. I think I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they just train the elephant to kick it.
So
it's like-
why are people something about? Why not just let them have a kick about without...
Imagine that! And why does horse racing have to have a jockey? Well, they just let the horses go, on you, okay, lads, on you, no cheating, on your marks, get set, go. You know, get back here. Get back here. Brilliant. Play record.
Right, Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, this is absolutely fantastic.
His version of Wonderwall. If you've not heard it
Beautiful.
yet, you'll be loving it.
You'll be loving this. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
There's a fella who was in a coma for 20 years. Just, they kept, like, taking him through, like, the normal day. They take him to Alton Towers and stuff. Doesn't know anything about it, just kept going through the motions. Don't know if they kept charging him. Kept putting him through all that. He eventually came out of it. 20 years.
And went, stop taking me to Alton Towers, it's shit.
I just thought,
And
imagine how much
stop
post he
making...
had.
Eh?
How much post?
Oh,
Did you read about that guy in the paper, Karl? He, sorry, on the internet. He in about, I think it was about 1984, 85, he had a terrible car accident.
But this must be it.
He went
This
into a coma.
This must be what he's talking about.
Well, they didn't take him to Alton Towers.
Of course they didn't. But you've got to try and decipher the truth from the conjecture, from the thing that I mean, don't forget, Karl realises that he's had a dream. He talks to Susanna and goes, that was good, wasn't it, last night we were in the plane? She goes, no, that's a dream. He goes, oh yeah, where's my cornflakes? You got to, you know what I mean? I can now decipher what he's actually seen, what he's read.
Well, go on, what did you...
Well, I'm assuming it's the same guy.
It is the same guy.
It was a guy in some small American town, and he'd had a car crash, and he'd gone into a coma, and his wife had left him. She'd gone on with her life, because he'd been in a coma since then, and he had just woken up recently.
Marriage wasn't working.
Marriage wasn't working. He just wasn't paying enough attention. He actually had... She was pregnant at the time, and so now his daughter is basically the same age as he was when he went into the coma. And he's just started coming around. He's just started making jokes. They said, how do you feel? He said, horny, which I thought was quite witty for a man who'd been in a coma for however many years. But anyway, yeah, so he's slowly trying to rebuild what life he can.
That's
what do you make
interesting.
of that, though? Because the thing is that he's missed... Imagine what he's missed, Karl. Imagine the music that he's missed, the
Live
TV
Aid.
programmes,
Missed
the
Live
news.
Aid.
Live Aid. He
He missed
The
Phil
Spice
Collins
Girls.
playing in 2 continents in one day.
Which, frankly, I'd be devastated if I discovered that.
Missed
happened.
Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't. So he put on ripped jeans and they go passe.
They just have to send him a series of those I Love 1986
Exactly.
programmes with Kate Thornton filling him in on what he's missed.
Exactly. Peter Kay reminding him of space operas.
Yeah,
he
Richard
remembers
Blackwood
those.
talking rubbish.
Yeah.
So extraordinary, though, isn't it, Karl, to think? No, obviously.
So,
not.
had he aged much? Because he hadn't had any problems or anything, no worries.
well,
Is that
he probably wouldn't have physiologically. He probably wouldn't have the wear and tear of a 43-year-old man
Was that a good
because
kid?
he wouldn't have had sun. He wouldn't have had sort of nicotine, beer.
Unless they were just feeding that to him.
Yeah, anyway,
To try and
still.
bring him round.
Yeah, yeah. So
You'd feel groggy, though, wouldn't you?
yeah, you might feel a bit groggy. Yeah, yeah,
Well, he's not fully back to normal. I mean, there's
No,
some
it's-
kind of residual brain damage.
yeah.
But nevertheless, he can form sentences. He's got no real memory, so he can't remember a lot of things.
It was just when I saw
Karl,
it,
have you
that's
been in
what-
an accident? The Brilliant Blur, Out of Time on XFM 104.9.
One of my
post-Christmas.
favourite singles of the year, and that's another thing. We'll be playing our favourite singles of the year, as well as our favourite clips of our own show.
Rick, I imagine if people have got a bit of Christmas money, they're wondering what they can spend it on.
Office DVD.
Well, other than that, these guys have got some ideas.
What, adverts? Brilliant. Placebo, Bitter End on XFM 104.9. This is pre-recorded. We recorded this a couple of weeks ago, before Christmas. Hope you had a great Christmas. If you didn't, not our fault, really, is it?
Nothing to do with us.
Wouldn't have thought we'd have.
We're aware of time because we've got plenty of cash now, thanks to a lot of you who probably bought the Office DVD.
Yeah.
Probably got
And
that
if you
in stock
haven't yet, and you've maybe got vouchers or money, still available.
Still there in the shops.
Still available. You can still make it the best-selling DVD of all time.
Please.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. I'll tell you what you want to hear there before you make your mind up. I'll tell you what, if you like this next clip, go and buy the Office DVD. I think you will. It's a brilliant clip.
It's the one where we talk about, well, it is self-explanatory.
Yeah. What's the best job you've ever had still, Karl? Talk like occupations. It is still
Paper round.
Is it still the paper round?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No, it was good though. If you look at it, like, you know, what I liked about it, you're your own boss.
No, you're not. You're not your own boss.
No,
The
guy who runs
news
the news
agent is your boss.
All right. But then once you get out and you've got your papers and that, you sort of, you're on your
Do
own.
what you want as
can
long as
think
you
about
deliver the
stuff.
papers exactly to the places he said you are in the time he said.
Yeah.
It's
and I did.
freedom, isn't it? Any jobs you wouldn't do? I've just thought of one that you wouldn't do
Go on.
with your sort of mild homophobia.
Well, I'm not.
Proctologist.
What's that?
Basically sticking your finger at other people's arses.
Right, well, I wouldn't do that, no. Why have you got to do that?
What do you mean, why have you got to do
Well,
that?
why does anyone need that doing?
Because they got to look if they've got an arseache or something.
Which trainee doctor makes that their speciality?
Do you know what I mean? That must be, right, we got a place for proctologists, and it's you, Meadows. You came last.
Oh, seriously, what? I'm not the arse doctor, am I?
Yeah, you came last.
Oh, I'm a bum GP. I can't believe it.
Yeah, you got to, I can't believe this.
Yeah. Tell you a job I don't like.
What?
I wouldn't want to be doing. The woman, there's a little woman who sits in the little snack stall on Finchley Road station.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to describe it, really. She is surrounded by snacks. She can't move for snacks. It's
Does
like...
it look like American Beauty, but with different...
Not dissimilar to that.
Yeah.
It's a little hut on the station, and it's like if you go to the seaside, you can put your head through one of those cardboard cutouts, and it looks like you're a big fat person, whatever, and you can have your photo taken. It's like an equivalent of that, but it's just snacks everywhere. She's got bananas up to her chin. She's got chocolate coming down to her eyes, crisps either side of her. She can't move. She can't do 360 degrees. She's like packed in there. I don't know how she gets in there.
I think they put her in there first, and pour in the bananas.
Yeah.
Then they go pour in the nuts.
She has 2 hours of makeup before they open,
exactly, yeah.
dressing her in there. Because I'll ask for something from the fridge, and she cannot turn her head to see. She has to go by feel alone, just to feel the fridge and get stuff out and pass it. And often I'll say, that's not what I wanted, but she can't. You've got to let her off. It's extraordinary.
Dear.
But there's no music playing,
Does she have
there's
to
nothing.
sell her way out of it?
Exactly.
If it's a slow day, she's stuck there till the next day.
Yeah, it's like a world-breaking attempt.
Yeah. Karl, what job wouldn't you want to do? Well, any job. You're a lazy...
You're joking, aren't you? I've done loads of stuff. I'm quite happy now doing what I'm doing.
Yeah? You look happy.
Trying to think.
You sound happy.
Yeah, I mean, calm down. You on drugs?
I'm all right.
Are you on
happy
E?
before England have won and that. I'm
What?
happy for them.
Yeah, go on,
Said
happy for
before
them.
I'm happy in that.
Yeah, what do you mean happy for them? We are England. Happy
Yeah.
for us?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't play. I did very little towards it.
No.
It was mainly Johnny Wilkinson.
Yeah, I
and the
barely
other-
contributed. Switching on the TV was about as much as I did.
Exactly. And shouting, come on!
Yeah.
Talking about jobs and that, though, I was reading the other day about, like, you know, rubbish jobs that people have had and
I
stuff.
haven't got time when I'm at work, man. I just get on with it. I'm not squiddly diddly. Fingers in pies, different jobs. Go on.
Do you know Ivor the Terrible?
Ivan.
He,
His Russian. Yeah, that was the Welsh fella. Who was bloody awful, but not as bad as his Russian cousin, Ivan. Go on.
he had a fella doing some work for him, right? This fella built his house. After it was done, right, the terrible fella was like...
fella Ivan.
He was going, oh, it's brilliant, you've done a good job there.
Yeah.
I don't want you to build another one like that. Took his eyes out. Just stopped him making an house like that.
Another
again.
one. Blimey.
That's bad, isn't it?
Why didn't he take away his trowel? Then he could have seen, but he couldn't have built a house without a trowel. You can't build a house without a trowel.
Yeah.
I suppose he probably later thought that once he'd been nicknamed Ivan the Terrible.
Yeah.
He
Go,
thought, why? Because you gouge people's eyes out.
Yeah, but I didn't want to build another house.
I know, but
Take his trowel away. What would I have been then? Ivan the crafty at most.
exactly, yeah.
Ivan the jealous, Ivan the spoilt brat. But
Yeah.
Gouge someone's eyes.
terrible,
That is bloody terrible. I'm surprised you're not called Ivan the... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're going to get on in history like with Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
He's mainly remembered for impaling people.
Yeah, he did a lot of other stuff.
Did a load of great charity
But
work he did. It's
the
not
impaling
remembered.
is the thing that's really
Yeah.
gone down in history. When were you reading about Ivan the Terrible?
No, it's just
or
little
Ivor
stories.
the Terrible is the thing you remembered from this informative article.
No, it was just little bits like that. Talking about him, there was a thing about someone who worked for that fella who painted the ceiling.
Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, there was a thing. A woman who worked for him in his house, and
I love how you assimilate information when it's just bordering on the academic, or just the interesting and true. It's wonderful. Ivor the Terrible gouged someone's eyes out 'cause built him an house. That fella who painted that ceiling had a woman work for him. Imagine if you wrote that down in an essay. Imagine if you wrote that in a school essay.
Well, you'd probably end up with not getting a grade or...
Or thinking you turned up to more than you had.
Exactly. Anyway, the woman who lived with...
Yeah, the woman who lived in a shoe. Go on.
yeah, there was this woman who lived with him, and she used to go out and do all this shopping and that.
Yeah.
But because she couldn't read or write, he used to have to draw everything that he wanted.
Why couldn't you just tell her?
I don't know.
No, but no, wait. That's an excellent point. Could she talk?
Yeah, but if it's a big list and that, loads of different coloured paints.
But why
and
couldn't
stuff.
she draw on a piece of paper? Why did he have to do it?
Because he's a better drawer, isn't he?
That's the point. That's it. That is. We were just looking for the logic of the story. You found it.
You've done it. Play a record. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
I'm amazed that these are the highlights and that we've strung it out this long, Rick.
But the good thing about this is, we're not here, we recorded this a couple of weeks ago, just the links, right? This has taken us about 10 minutes for the whole show. We get paid the same. Why don't we do this every week?
That's a great idea. High five.
Listen to this clip, it's brilliant.
I think that my new TV is too big, Rick.
I said that
I know,
when he
I don't know
bought
what
it.
I was thinking.
But I can't believe it. He talked about this buying it. He's got a bit of cash now, of course. And what is it? 42 inches? 42-inch plasma screen. What did it cost you? $3,000 or
Oh,
something?
don't tell me. That's
Wow,
huge.
it's
$3,500.
ridiculous. $3,500, big spender. Of course, it's too big.
Well, I can't get far enough back in my room, in my living room for it.
You know, you're meant to be, I think, 4 times the screen size away from it
Really?
to get out from the air. So that's 4 times 42 inches you're meant to be sitting away from it, which is impossible.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to just get friendly with the neighbours.
Yeah, watch it through a hat.
If that's the case, though, aren't you better off just getting a portable?
What?
I don't understand that rule. What are you saying?
Well, you're meant to be 4 times the screen size away from the TV.
But then what's the point in having a big telly if you've got to keep moving further back? Get a portable
And sit right next to it.
Do see your point. Why do people go to the cinema then?
Did you see films that are out yet?
Fair enough, he's got you there.
Done.
I'd tell you this, though. I had it delivered, and are you supposed to tip delivery men?
Of course you are.
I don't know. You see, I've never had anything delivered before. I never spent that much money.
Not if it's a courier with an envelope, but if it's a bloke who's struggled up the stairs,
I held the door
two
open for
fat
him.
blokes with a fridge, then give him a £5 for a drink.
But the problem was, I didn't realise, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I've got to tip him. And the guy was leaving, and my mobile phone went off in my pocket,
Yeah.
and I reached in to get it. He put his hand out, thinking it was a tip. I went, it's just my phone. And I felt terrible after he left. I didn't know. What was I going to do? Run down the street and offer him a £5?
No.
No, of course not.
No.
I'm not made of money. I just spent it on TV.
Yeah, I've got no money, mate.
No.
I just spent it all on
Yeah.
this. I had to clean out my jar, everything,
Exactly.
the drawers.
Yeah, I'd take some bottles back. The problem was it took me forever to wire it in. I thought, I'm not going to pay for someone to wire it up, So it took me about 3 hours to wire it in, and it was huge, and I got it switched on, and the first programme that was on when I got it wired in was Bargain Hunt. I'll tell you this, David Dickinson's tan almost took me eyeballs out. It was incredible. It was like X-rays. It was extraordinary, the glow.
I know, a huge plasma screen with this orange thing coming out, and he keeps turning to the camera, doesn't he?
That
Just
grin.
to get you. Yeah, he turns away. You get a bit close. They go, "What's he doing?" He just turns around,
Exactly, yeah.
takes the cornea off.
What do you think, Bargain Hunters? Bargain Hunters.
Oh dear, that's why I'd buy a plasma screen to watch Bargain Hunt.
I mean, it's ludicrous. This is the problem, is because what do you watch?
I mean, have you watched anything that's been worth having.
The only thing I've watched really worth watching.
24.
Well,
on
24 works great, but also films. Obviously, that's the main reason I bought it, because films just look amazing on the
DVD on the plasma
That's
screen.
it, if you're into films and that, it's just that I only, I've just got the 5 channels and flicking about, and I'm not impressed. I mean, I can understand why more people listen to radio and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, not this one, but go on.
Well, when was it? When was the last time I sort of sat down and had time? Because I'm always busy doing stuff and that.
Sure. Moaning takes up about 3 hours a day.
When did Wimbledon finish?
A couple of weeks ago.
Right. Found myself sat there, right? And I'm not having a go. I know we stopped Cheeky Freak of the Week and all that, right? So I'm not going to be having a go.
Christ,
I sat there.
I'm scared.
No, I'm not having a go. You've always got to remember that.
Go on, just get on with it. Get on with it. I'll apologise after.
I'm just saying, watching Wimbledon, it wasn't, one of the major games. It was little fellas in a wheelchair having a game.
Little fellas in a wheelchair.
Right.
But for me, I mean, great. They're doing a sport and everything. But don't put it on the telly.
What was up with it?
There wasn't like a rally going on. No, do you know what I mean? Do you know normally,
Christ.
like with well, not Tim Enman, but with some of the other, with some of the other players and that, they're playing for ages, aren't they? It's like, who's going to win this and that?
Yeah.
None of that. It was just like, hit it, net.
Oh, Christ! Oh, God! I don't know what to do!
And people were like sat there watching it as well when they've got other games going on in there. That's what I couldn't understand. If you've paid your money to get in,
yeah.
I mean, like I say, good on them if they. Do you know what I mean? But it would have been.
And they always start first in the marathon.
I just thought it would have, give them a game of swing ball or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I understand.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's never anything on.
XFM in the community.
Let's play a tune. Ricky Gervais, Ricky.Gervais.
Don't put my name to this last link. Don't put my name to this last link.
Ricky.Gervais, xfm.co.uk. Oh. Magic, Virgin, if you're listening, we are available probably sooner than we thought.
That was Radiohead and They're There. We're Not Here, all right? Pre-recorded. Coming up is one of Karl's little film things where he puts himself into a film. It's his favourite film. It's Kes. Enjoy it. I love the fact that in pole position, in positions 1 and 2 of his favourite films of all time, it's The Elephant Man and Kes.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Go on.
All right. Am I leaving the mics open a bit when this is going out? or what?
Yeah, let's have a listen.
Yeah? All right. So don't talk then, right?
Just put that hot dog down, Rick.
And this is the bit in Kes where it's the teacher and he gets up and he has to
Glover.
talk.
What's his name? Is it Brian Glover?
No, it's
What's
the other teacher.
The other one.
Anyway.
All right, go on.
All right, so here we go.
Things that had actually happened. I've got
yeah.
another one. What about you, Casper? Casper!
All right.
All right?
All right.
You haven't been listening to a word I've said, have you?
Yeah, I heard some of it. Yeah, you
Some of it?
just...
Stand up. Always somebody, isn't there? Right, now you're going to tell us a story about yourself.
What sort of story?
I want you to think of an incident that happened to you sometime in the past that is true and that you think will interest the rest of the class. All right?
All right. What about... I work on a radio show at the weekend.
Well, are you going to tell us about it?
I'll just do. It's 2 hours, and it's with Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, and just sort of play music and tell stories and stuff.
What kind of stories?
Well, whatever. Like last week, it was science. We were talking about this lad who was growing a knob on his arm. So it's weird. It's tricky, sir, because like with Ricky, he gets bored quick and he won't listen to the stories, and he'll start squeezing my head.
All right. I'm not interested in what he does.
That isn't normal, is it, sir? That, I mean, it sure is a bit gay.
Is he?
Just messes about, though. Do you know what I mean? I try and like come up with good stuff, like monkey news and like quizzes and stuff, but then he'll just, Ricky will just mess about. I mean, on Saturday he did it again. He squoze me head.
How do you spell that?
Squoze. S-Q...
Oh, you're going to show it on the board? Is a new word to me.
Squoze is S-Q-U-O-Z-E.
Right, now tell us what it is.
It's when he gets me head and he puts one hand on the back of it, right? And he puts the other hand on the front of it and he just sort of swivels it.
Swivel, right down the front.
Oh, swivel's not, it's spelled S-W-I-D-R.
How many times a day?
How many times a day does he swells it? It depends what time he gets in. If he gets in about 12:30, he could get a good 3 in. But I think, I don't really want to talk about.
You've done enough, don't you? Well done, Billy. Big hand of applause.
That is the effort.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the best thing you've ever done, Karl. Darkness growing on me. Love that. Love the darkness. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
Now, Rick, you may remember that last week we opened with some quality knob news.
Knob news, yeah.
It was
Hitler's knob.
Hitler's knob was one of them. That just sparked off into a whole bunch of other kind of knob-related discussions.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased so far to see that we're almost at the halfway mark for this first hour. And so far we've only talked about nudity and/or todgers.
Yeah.
So excellent work from us. Well done, lads.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Dr. Fox and the rest of the Sony award committee listening to this one.
Yeah.
But more knob news. I don't know if there's a jingle for that, maybe.
You nearly had the eye out. Knob news.
Knob news, excellent. This is an extraordinary story. A woman tried to sue her bosses for £210,000 after finding a cooked penis in a canteen stew. Hospital cleaner Sophie, can't quite pronounce that name, was eating goulash for lunch and could not cut one of the lumps of meat. You can see where it's going.
I've got so many questions already.
I know. She picked it up and tried to chew it, but it was too tough. Then she inspected it with workmates who all agreed it was a penis. Imagine that discussion.
Yeah.
Miss McLarter said she vomited for the rest of the day, instantly became a vegetarian, and had to have psychiatric help. It's not known whether the organ was from a human. The case continues.
Well, it can be found out, so that's one thing. Obviously, the doctors aren't confused. They're not going, I don't know, I've never seen one like it.
Yeah.
Also, why is she eating goulash?
I know.
I mean, that's my first question. Why? You got your lunch. What do you want? I don't know, I fancy some goulash.
Yeah. Oh, some gooly lash.
Gooly lash,
Thanks very
like
much
it.
indeed.
Lancashire cockpot.
Oh,
is on the menu.
Brilliant.
Only £5.50.
Wangers and mash.
I'd love some wangers and mash, please.
Cock o' van.
Cock o' van.
It's already done for you.
There's wangers and mash, cock o' van, Lancashire cockpot.
That's just off the top of our brains.
Yeah.
So if you've got any of your own, keep them to yourself. We're not interested. What do you make of that knob news?
And he's in a hospital.
Oh, yes, it was. No, a hospital cleaner. You're right.
Oh,
cleaner.
God. I know how your mind's thinking already.
There's been a mix-up.
That's been a mix-up.
What kind of mix-up?
I love that. Some bloke's gone in. Some lesbian's gone in, wanted a sex change. She's got a carrot for a cock.
Stewing steak.
Stewing steak. Oh, that would be great.
Excellent. 50 Cent in Da Club on XFM 104.9.
We're playing our favourite singles of the year.
Yep.
And we're looking back over some of our favourite clips of the year. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Not done a lot. Maybe you should earn your money as you get to Mondays off for this 2 hours of nonsense.
What are you on about? I've done loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Same old.
Yeah.
Let's have something new, something fresh.
Well, I've been looking around, right, on the internet for stuff.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Yeah.
Your Bible, where you get all your information about the world and the universe and morality from.
And you know, like, how I always say to you, I don't really read that much of it, I just read the headline.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Anna Nova have sort of nicked that idea to grab you.
Nicked what idea?
Well, to sort of get to the meat straight away at the top. Do you know what I mean? The headline to the story and everything.
What?
Right, these are
But
stories.
the headlines already existed. That was why you thought that was a good
not
idea?
like this, though.
All right.
Headline. Well, these are all headlines, right? Vibrating shoes could stop elderly falling. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, God.
You don't need...
Vibrating shoes could stop elderly falling.
Yeah, that's the story. You don't need to read on. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
right?
could you read that anyway?
Can't be bothered.
Read on anyway.
Well, you have a look at that in a bit, right?
All right.
it's
So
interesting.
this is frustrating radio if you're sitting at home.
No,
well,
but
it's not on. They've turned it off.
If you want to know more, you know where to go. That's what I'm saying. That's what they should do in the news. Get the news done in
Bong.
a minute.
There's a good story about Iraq.
Right.
Bong. Look it up. Look it up on the internet.
Right.
And over.
Give us another bong.
Bong.
Family sick of living on Butthole Road.
Oh, brilliant. Bong.
Man wears same shoes for 60 years.
Oh, bong.
This isn't that good. Some fella pulls a train with his teeth.
And in lighter news,
I love that. Jungle Donald, this one isn't very good.
And the last one, man fails to break clothes pegs on face record. She's always good. Well, that's the one I did read on about.
I love that out of all those. That's the one he read on about. Go on then.
Just
Why is that news? He fails to make a record. So did I today.
I know, yeah.
I failed the long jump record today.
yeah, didn't even take part.
No, I was rubbish.
But what are the rules on world records and that?
I don't know if there are rules. There are certain things you can't. I mean, it's the Guinness Book of Records, isn't it? Really, that's the arbiter, isn't it?
Yeah, but is there anything, if you said you wanted to do it, would they say, well, you can't do that?
Yeah, they've stopped some gluttony records. Obviously, things that are in danger. It's anything that's illegal. Yeah, anything that's immoral.
Yeah, like that American serial killer that just got discovered.
Yeah.
Having killed 47 women. I don't think he can make that into the Guinness Book of Records.
No, because people will be trying to beat it, won't they?
But there was some other story about a fella eating watches and that. That can't be good for you. So why don't they say, look, don't do that, do something else?
He wanted to stay regular.
Do you know
What
what,
do you
I mean?
mean?
Though? I just wondered.
What do you mean he
there's
was
any-
eating watches?
He just said he was eating watches. He got about 3 in about a minute.
How did he time it?
Do you know what I mean, though? And then the other thing is the one that I was reading, the world record with the fellow who's pulling a train with his teeth. Does that make any difference that he's done it with his teeth?
What do you mean?
Well, what difference does it make?
Well, isn't it? It's quite hard to pull a train with your teeth, I imagine.
Well, it's pretty hard to pull a train. All I'm saying is it because he couldn't beat the fella who's pulling it with his hands?
Well,
so you tweak
this
it a
is
bit?
my point. I think there was one bloke with a record for the running backwards 100 metres was sort of like 11 and a half seconds. And I was thinking, turn around, you'd probably have a really good go at that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sort of like doing a marathon with a milk bottle on your head. Take the milk bottle off and see how fast you can go, you twat.
But you can just tweak it, like the fella who has done the pegs on the face, right?
Yeah.
His name's Gary Stretch Turner, right?
Right.
So you're sort of cheating already if he's got a stretchy head, right? but
You are, right, you are one of the most stupid humans I've ever met.
well, get me in the book. Yeah. Right? Well, listen. So Gary Stretch Turner, right? His record is 153 pegs.
Yeah.
He did it again, and he only got 150 on. So he hasn't broke his own record.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, if he tweaked it a bit more, would that make a new record?
What?
Well, if he said, I've got 150 pegs on, but at the same time as eating a burger.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be the world record breaker for pegs and eating burgers at the same time.
Yeah, just change it a bit. If you know you're not going to make it, just do something else.
I'm assuming the rules are set at the beginning, Carl. That's
Yeah.
it. That's where they say, right, you're just going to do the pegs thing. You're not going to introduce burgers halfway through, are you? Definitely not. And
Okay.
then they have a go.
I was on one leg, not interested. How many pegs? 150.
Can I just ask very briefly, I was quite interested by the family had to move because they lived on Butthole Road.
Yeah, I quite like that
Now,
one.
I don't know if I've told you before, Rick, where I used to live. I'm not going to tell you the name of the street that I used to live on, not on air, because my parents still live there and I don't want,
Right.
you know. But I'm going to write it for you now. This is the genuine name of the street I used to live on. Just imagine when you're at school
Yeah.
and like in class, for instance, in French, you've got to say you've got to answer where you live.
Yeah.
J'habite, wherever.
Yeah.
That's the name. This is actually the name of the street we lived on.
No, it's
I
not.
swear to God.
That is...
I absolute right. I could phone my father now and he could confirm that for
Well,
you.
no,
I swear
because he doesn't want
to God. And I tell you that.
But listen, do you know what worries me? It's the apostrophe S.
I know.
Because that's blatant.
Yes. Amazing, isn't it?
That is incredible.
Imagine how embarrassing
So
that
if
was.
I look that up in the Bristol...
You'll find that in the Bristol A to Z. I swear to God.
That is really... Why have you never told me that before?
I can't believe I haven't.
That's
I'm still
incredible.
embarrassed now. Do you know, if whenever I have to phone up, if I have to give that address, I always spell it instantly.
Really?
Like, somehow that'll hide it, that'll disguise the name.
But I can't get over that.
Anyway, if you perhaps live in Tits Avenue,
Yeah.
you know, or...
Wankling Drive.
Wankling Drive, just get in touch. Let us know, we're not really interested.
This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of. I know what you're thinking. If this is the best, my Christ, what was the rest like? Well, we'll be back in a week's time, so you can judge it for yourself live. But anyway, in the meantime, this is one of the best clips I've ever heard.
Oh, I'm laughing just thinking about what it might be.
He said he's, you know, oh God, it's like a child or a cat when it's confused. He went, Steve reckons in ancient Greece, right, it was better to shag a bloke than a woman. And I went, well, yeah. I mean, that's about the male being sort of a first-class citizen, much better, wasn't it? An aspiration
the
to
point
sleep with
was,
a beautiful
Carl,
man than a beautiful woman.
Women were lower-class citizens,
Yeah.
so therefore men were seen as higher class. So to have sexual relations with a man, there was no shame in that.
No.
In fact, it was looked upon
And
as
I
a
said,
good thing.
well, you know, ancient Rome. I said, you know, Nero, he'd sit in his big jacuzzi and he used to get, you know, pretty boy men to just go into the water and just nibble at his testicles while he was having a wash.
He didn't do that.
He did.
No.
Yeah.
And he's not a gay fella.
No, well, no. I mean, you know, I don't know about Nero, but I mean, it wasn't a case of a big delineation between what was heterosexual and what was gay. It was just, you know, whatever you...
So what did this fella do then? This one who's having his...
Well, he
his
was
little testicles?
pretty much top boy, Nero, for a while.
He was in charge.
And, you know, and you did what you're told. If Caesar or...
But why were people going round there? Why didn't they go, oh...
No, they weren't dropping in. It wasn't like the door was opening. I'm just going to see what Nero's doing. You'd have probably been like a delivery boy or a stable boy or something, you know, and you'd have popped round there and you'd have gone, there, right, Nero, there's the tablets of stone you wanted. And you go, Pilkington, why you are here? Pop under... I don't know why he's French.
What is that?
I don't know why he's French. Just pop under the water and nibble at my testicles and you'd have done it.
Because he was Nero.
I wouldn't.
You would have.
Well, there's no way I would have done.
Well, you would
What
have.
have I done? I've dropped a pizza off.
Yeah, you
why
put
am I
round to
there?
Nero's place with the pizza.
Right. Right, I'd say I've done my job. Right.
Yeah.
That's not the sort of tip I wanted.
No, he'd have said, get the little baldy chap to nibble at my testicles, and you'd have been under the water.
I wouldn't have done it.
No,
Well,
you
don't
have
put me head
done
under
it. You
water.
have done it, right.
No, I wouldn't have done it,
Can I just say this, Steve? Not only would you be nibbling at his testicles, you'd have been going mad. You'd have been noshing him just for extra. You'd have been doing everything he wanted. You'd have been going, he'd have gone, I didn't ask you to do that. You'd have been going mental. They'd have been chewing, slurping, smacking, poking. You'd have chopped, you'd have gnawed his packet off. You'd think you were eating Walker's crisps. There'd be bubbles, there'd be flood. Oh, it would be horrible. That was Bowie and Waterloo Sunset. Love that. Love the original. Love Bowie. Bowie was my gig of the year. These are my singles of the year. These are our clips of the year. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant. We're just picking some lovely little bits and pieces.
Do you remember when we talked about this?
That's the sort of thing I think we need now, right? We've covered a lot of stuff.
What, education?
But teaching, yeah.
Well, okay, what do you want to know?
Don't know.
Have you got something? Can you educate us on anything?
I've been reading bits
So
and
could we
bobs.
bring back just for one night only, educating Ricky?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah? Do you think it warrants that?
I don't know enough about it. You know what I mean?
About what?
It sounds perfect. Play the jingle.
Educating Ricky. He's getting smarter.
A couple of things happened in the week that I read about.
Okay.
Keeping up on what's going on and that.
Sure.
Yeah.
One was about that Galileo fella.
Okay.
Was it about 1636? Was it?
I think it might have been
not
earlier.
bad.
Go on.
Did some stuff with light and that.
Yeah, he did lots of physical experiments, yeah.
Is that it then, Karl, is it? He did some stuff with light and that.
What did he do with light? What was that?
Well, I think he invented the first...
Telescope.
Telescope. So I think it's a particular lens, though, and he did experiments where he dropped two famously, 2 different weighted balls from Pisa, and they hit the ground at the same time, showing that it doesn't matter, the weight doesn't matter, but air resistance does and stuff like that.
I think he probably explained it a bit better than that.
Yeah, but I'm talking to Karl.
Sure.
Did they need to know
He's
stuff?
just thinking about pizza.
Yeah.
Did they need to know stuff like that back then?
What do you mean, did they need to know stuff like that? It's just...
There weren't people going around going, I've got to drop these 2 things off the Leaning Tower of Pizza. I just don't know which one's going to land first.
Yeah, I need to know. What do you need to
Bring
know
me
that?
Galileo.
Yeah.
It's for a bet.
Yeah.
No, but if I was knocking about then, I'd be like, stop messing with that. We need a telly. Or, do you know what I mean?
I bet he thinks the Flintstones is real.
I know.
That'd be brilliant. That's what I'd do if I was a caveman. I'd make a telly out of rock.
Yeah.
And a pelican
And a
as
car
a
that I
cement
just
mixer.
ran along the road with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need a car.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't really got the internal combustion engine. Can you stick your feet through the bottom? Yeah, just get me a car, for Christ's sake.
Anyway, so I learned that. And
Yeah.
then...
What?
He learned his name.
Yeah.
Other people I learned the
Brilliant.
name of this week.
Oh, if a chimp could watch telly. Go on, Karl, go on.
And there was also a fella in the week who said that women shouldn't be wearing trousers
Why?
because they don't look good in them. What do you think? What do you think about that?
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
These are the only things that have caught your eye over the last couple of weeks. This is the entire news.
Galileo did something with light. A French fella said women shouldn't wear trousers. See, that to me wouldn't pass as education.
It's not education.
I don't know where you could ever use that. I don't know when that would ever be applicable to life.
I just like reading stuff that sort of reminds me of... Do you know what I mean? If I read it and it gets me thinking, I think that's a good little piece.
But I mean, but surely can't you just sort of like sit near something that vibrates to keep your brain going, or shake your head every now and again? I mean, what does this do? You mean it makes you start using your brain?
But what aspect of a Frenchman said women shouldn't wear trousers got your mind working? What questions were you
Because I
asking?
thought that's a bit daft, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
it
was
ends there
thinking-
with me. There's nothing else. There's nowhere else for me to go on that.
He closes
Your
the
mind's
gate.
still worrying.
Yeah, go on. What do you think? Let's go through this. Oh, I wish we could download his
I know,
thoughts.
I know.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great, like a DVD?
Like a cartoon.
Imagine that extra footage on the Office DVD.
Yeah, Karl's brain.
That would be
With a commentary.
amazing. Oh, with
I
a
mean is-
commentary. Go on.
Women wearing trousers and that, right? On the estate that I grew up in,
Yeah.
on right? There was a woman about 4 houses down, right?
Right.
Rough. Now, she used to wear leggings.
Yeah.
Now, they're a bad idea.
They are a terrible idea. I agree with you there, Karl. If you're a lady of
What
the
colour?
normo persuasion...
Were they pink?
No, they were sort of black, but with all bits on them.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean?
What,
Yeah.
toast and
Just
horse
bits.
droppings? Yeah, go on, yeah.
And she used to... she's quite a big woman.
Sure.
Pauline Quirk, I think
Yeah,
they
well,
described her as.
Look like a light bulb when
It
she was
is those
bending
kind of
over in
women that are
leggings.
attracted to leggings.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
They are drawn to them like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
She
yeah.
used to wear them, and that's what I remember when I read this piece. And she used to work on one of those sex line things.
Right.
Right, she used to do that. But
What was she, an engineer?
the weird thing with her was, she had big eyelids
Right.
Go on.
that were too big, and this is what I was thinking.
What
right?
do you mean she had big eyelids? How big do eyelids have to be for you to go, they're big eyelids? What was she shoplifting with them? Would she come out of Dixon's with, like, radio stored in them? What do you mean she
No,
had
it
big
was
eyelids?
It was another one of them popular things around our way. Do you know? Like,
What do you mean popular things? They
think
didn't
people
go,
had
they go, oh, I'll tell you what, they're all the rage. Can I get some big eyelids, please?
No. It was just like one of them things that people suffered with. Just big eyelids. They could hardly open their eyes.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's one of them popular things around where I grew up. People had big eyelids. They could hardly open their eyes. What does that mean? What sort of freak town were you born in? You had webbed feet people with big heads. You got women with big eyelids. What does big eyelids mean?
Are you confusing her with the horse?
Yeah. Did she have hooves? Look, what?
Anyway, so there's this big eyelidded woman with the
And
leggings.
that's what I'm saying to you, though. That's when I read that story with people with trousers.
Yeah.
I went from that.
Yeah.
To
into
a
that.
woman who used to have big eyelids. I still know the point.
But then, and also the other bloke who had the eyelid problem was a mate of mine.
Right.
His dad had it, and Same problem, massive eyelids.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I used to say to my mum, I'm going round to, Dave's house.
Yeah.
And,
Or
to say,
Droopy, as you call him.
that's all right, but make sure his dad doesn't take you out in the car. Because he could hardly... he could hardly see. He had to have his head...
He had to tilt his head back to keep his eyes open.
Make sure! Didn't he have a couple of matches with him at all times?
What a load of gobbledygook. This began as educating Ricky.
I know, it's like
he was
people with eyelids.
But it's like you're supposed to make that leap as well.
Yeah.
If I mention the trousers, Ricky will probably be thinking about people with big eyelids and women wearing leggings.
Play a record, Karl. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
Like I said to you, though, the reason I did this was to get that kitchen, right? Now...
Brilliant.
As we speak now, right? Builder's in the flat. He's been annoying me.
Of course he has. Of course he has. What's he been doing?
When he turned up on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Wanders in, and the first thing he says to me is, he said, "The pub across the road, is it any good?" I said, "Well, it doesn't matter, does it? You're working on the kitchen."
Think of saying that to a builder. Probably making conversation. Probably meant, do they do a toasted sandwich? Because I've got a half-hour lunch break. Not an hour, like Karl Pilkington. So I'll probably go and get a nice, cheese and tomato sandwich.
Is that genuinely what you said to him?
Yeah.
The first thing you said
So
to him?
Suzanne had a go at me saying, "Why have you said that? He hasn't even started on it yet."
I cannot believe that.
You're unbelievable, Karl. And you say it's us that are rude, crass,
I wasn't being
thoughtless.
rude. I just was letting him know. Do you know what I mean? I know what
He
they're up
knows
to.
what he was there for. He had it down on his little docket. Do the kitchen this week. He didn't come there and go, what did I come out for? Was it to go to the pub for a week?
Why am I wearing these overalls?
Yeah. Who's the little bald mank twat insulting me? Let me just check. Let me call the head office.
I wasn't having a go, though. I mean, they should have finished it yesterday, and they're there now, right, on their own. And what annoyed me is they turned up late today.
Hold on, Karl, I've just realised something. They're probably listening to the radio. This, I assume, tuned to XFM, isn't it, in your kitchen?
Yeah, but they don't know it's me, do they? Do you know what I mean?
No. They'd go, he's got a whiny mank voice as well. So's the bloke who owns this place. And the bloke who owns this place, when I said, what's that pub like across the road, said, well, you won't be bothering that. He's working on this. No, he won't be able to put two and two together, will he? You've suddenly, the penny's dropped, doesn't it? You've suddenly realised. Look at his face! Yeah. He's suddenly realised they might know it's him.
And they could be listening, and they're going to clean you out, mate.
Oh, if you are the builder working in, where is it? I won't say the address, but it's...
Central London, isn't it? Go
Yeah.
mental. Have whatever you want.
Opposite
Seriously.
that pub that you like, that you're...
He'll probably be in there now, so he won't be listening.
Or insulting
You know what I mean?
a
That's a
British
further
workman.
He should have been in
just go
today.
mental.
He should have been in at 8 this morning,
Just
which annoyed
go
me anyway.
mental.
Why? I really don't understand why they've got to start so early, right?
Yeah.
But he said he'll be there for 8, turned up at 9:30, right? Wanders in, and what annoys me is he could have left all this downstairs. He had a paper under his arm, one of those crossword books, and a pot noodle. Now, I'm not being funny, but most of them take quite a bit of time. A crossword book, he's not happy with just the one that's in the paper.
If you're listening, if you are the builder that's listening now, doing Karl's flat, what about pissing in the laundry basket? That was Jane's Addiction. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
This was a clip show. We recorded this a couple of weeks ago. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. It's not over yet, because tonight at 9:50 is the second part of The Office Christmas specials. It's brilliant. Watch it, and we'll be back next week live. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. Bye.
Have a great new year. Probably you're thinking, Rick, isn't it time that we do our usual roundup of what's been happening in the news?
Yeah.
Which we always do every week.
Yeah.
We always do something, which is, I mean, basically, if you're listening and you're a new listener, say you work at a newspaper, we always try to be informative, just try and put stuff out there that just educates people, informs
What are you
people.
thinking? Well, I said Monkey News is coming up, but what have you got?
No, I was just looking on the net there and just found a couple of quite important news stories, probably worth mentioning. Policeman caught photographing. I don't know why it makes me laugh. It's just the phrasing, I suppose. It's the headline. Policeman caught photographing up woman's skirt.
No, he wasn't up there taking a picture of Big Ben. He wasn't going, can I just sit up here? I'm just going to take a picture of that seagull over there.
No.
He was facing the camera up a woman's skirt.
He was indeed.
Right.
A policeman in Japan is facing disciplinary measures after he was caught photographing up a woman's skirt with a hidden camera while on duty. The 42-year-old sergeant, who's not been named, used a digital camera to secretly snap the shots when the woman was reporting a stolen bicycle.
So he was actually
doing his proper job. He'd obviously thought to himself, I'll bring him a digital camera today. On the off chance a beautiful woman comes in to report a crime or robbery, I'll have it ready, I'll have it positioned, in such a way. But this is interesting. This is how he got caught. Okay? The woman became suspicious after she saw a flash go off.
brilliant.
I mean, this
Not so secret at all.
Sorry, did I just see your shoe? Your shoe just seemed to just bring into life. There was light. There was light.
Yeah, I think I'd had someone set fire to some magnesium that was on the end of it. It won't happen again.
But it's only you and I in here, and your shoe was just suddenly lit.
Why are you standing like that? Why is your shoe just sort of like between my feet?
There's no reason. This is how I always stand.
What did the bike look like? Flash? So, are you taking pictures of my family?
No. And no, I'm not. And you should be wearing knickers anyway.
Well, how do you know that?
What?
How did you know I'm not?
How did I know what?
I'm not wearing any...
I didn't know you. I don't know what you've got up there.
Well,
I don't know what it looks like, and there's no way I could. Of course, it would be roughly that conversation in Japanese.
I know, yeah.
You know, you just mentioned there about sort of no knickers and that.
Is this going to be your Auntie Nora?
No.
Right.
It's just, like the last flat that I lived in, I always had a good view across the road, and I could see... It was the hairy... There
was the hairy Chinese
not hairy Chinese kid. He was just a Chinese kid, actually.
Yeah.
Running
Because
about.
that's rare, isn't it? Hairy Chinese kids are very rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's only one official sighting, isn't there? In one of those shit little magazines that you buy.
And there was the old woman who didn't move. She was just sat there reading a book all the time.
Who we think possibly died and no one came round for weeks,
But now I've moved, right? And it was quiet for a bit. I always look at what view I'm getting, right? Looks across and it was just sort of empty, sort of flats ready for people to move in and that, right? Anyway, people are in there now, right? And they've put all the furniture in, but I haven't put any curtains up.
Oh.
Right. So anyway, I'm sort of washing up, just having a look out the window.
Yeah.
Right. Girl sort of wandering about, knickers on, right?
With no knickers on?
You mean naked?
No knickers. Well, she had a bra on.
Right, okay.
But,
she's probably looking for a knickers.
So I thought, and I don't know how long I was looking.
No.
Right. But anyway, she looks across.
Oh, God.
I think she spotted me.
Yeah.
I think, oh, God. I felt really bad.
Yeah.
I said to Suzanne...
Sorry, is this some sort of Peeping Tom confession?
No idea.
Well, he's not... That's the thing, though.
Peepington.
If I was peeping, she was peeping as well, because she was looking over. Works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, all she could see of you was your bald head.
Yeah.
No. But
and your hands moving as you were washing up. And some white-looking substance frothing up.
Particularly stubborn stain on this glass.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Imagine if she looked across. I'm assuming your sink is lower than the window.
But didn't she just cover up or something? Or she looked back and go, oh, you're looking at my fanny?
Well, the thing I did...
What?
I thought, just sort of drop me boxer shorts. Because I thought... Well, Suzanne said, what are you doing?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
No, just so they can see me cheeks of me.
What are you talking about?
No, because I thought if she thinks I'm walking about in the nude as well, then we've both got something out of it.
Karl,
This sounds like a bad excuse in court.
I know.
So sorry, you were looking at a woman dancing around naked, right? So the only thing you could do was immediately drop your boxer shorts.
So she looked across, saw you fully clothed, saw you took your boxers
No, she wouldn't have done because it's sort of just the top half and the sink's at a side angle, so I was sort of looking out.
So
This
she
is
wouldn't
genius.
so she wouldn't have seen your trousers then anyway.
No, she did. I moved in front of the window more.
So you then made you actually climbed in front of the window.
Oh, this is amazing!
So you climbed in front of the window to show off
No,
your
it wasn't
your naked
obvious.
lower half.
Suzanne said, what are you doing? And I
I
said,
bet she did.
What are you looking at?
I sent you in here to clean
What
up.
are you doing? I'm just taking my trousers down, stand by the window. Why? Because there's a naked woman across the road. What do you think I'm doing, Suzanne? I'm exposing myself while looking at some free fanny.
leave it.
What's up with you, Suzanne?
Anyway,
Wait a minute, can I just check? A final question. What did the woman across the way... What happened? What was her
I
reaction?
didn't look again. I just thought you've seen a bit of action as well. We're both happy. Let's leave it.
Brilliant.
So were you waddling around like a penguin with your trousers around your waist?
I just was walking about and Suzanne said, what are you doing? I said, I'll explain to you in a bit, but don't look out the window because then it's
Excellent.
obvious.
Then he sees she calls her husband to look at Karl walking around naked. He goes, oh, she's got quick, Suzanne, get him out. There's only one with him. Get some more friends. They've gone one more.